Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back to another episode of Talk of the Town. This week, actually before I do the intro, welcome back, When did we last do the episode? Last week? You weren't here, were you?
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
my
he's
first time meeting Ollie today, innit?
yeah.
Hello,
He's
everyone.
back. He's back.
But back as a guest host today. Looking forward to it.
He might do a few more, or he's saying might. He's gonna do a few more episodes of us. Welcome back, Gob. How are you, lad?
Yeah, not too bad.
Both feeling good?
Yeah, real good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Real
man.
good.
Right.
Been buzzing for this one, to be fair.
What's your name, mate?
So my name is Bradley Jones.
Yeah. Where are you from? Let's get started.
I'm from Oswestry.
Oswestry? Yeah. What was it like growing up there then?
Growing up there was difficult. It's not difficult, but it's a small place.
Nice place, huh?
Yeah, small town. It's not the area. It's more.
The people.
Yeah.
Small mind mentality.
I've just moved from that.
Have you?
Well, Bowen, yeah.
Yeah, everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
It's the same here,
It's a
though.
gift and a curse in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's got a good community feel to it. Though.
Yeah.
Can't it?
I like it though.
Yeah, I like going to the castle. I used to go for a walk up to the castle and that I did. When I used to-
Whittington.
If
No, the one in Oswestry. You know, I don't think it's actually
Yeah, it's
a
Whittington.
castle anymore, is it?
on
You
top
know what
of
I mean,
it,
by the square, where they do the market?
Yeah.
Oh, where
That's all right.
you meet for...
No, it's further up into town. That is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What kind of kid were you then, growing up? Were you...
So
Naughty.
growing up, I was just the usual go-along kid. So I was diagnosed with dyslexia when I was about 7 or 8. So, and I wasn't really asked about school. I was just there for the enjoyment of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
The sake of it,
Yeah. But I was always had issues growing up, if you know what I mean, with educational anyway. So with dyslexia, I always thought outside the box. So, but it didn't really bother me in a sense where I was focusing on education. Out of school, I was just a usual kid.
Did you never think there was anything more wrong than dyslexia? Because you see, like, generically when people say that, you think, oh, he's got ADHD or something. Do you know what I mean?
I think getting diagnosed at that age, I sort of use it as an excuse, because at 7 or 8 you don't know what you're diagnosed with,
Yeah.
you don't understand it. So I can remember going shopping with me nan, and my nan said, "Aren't you going to put any shopping away?" I said, "No, I can't. I'm dyslexic."
You used it for everything.
Exactly.
Absolutely everything. That's class. At least you found out when you were so young, though, because obviously some people find out when they're
Yeah.
Older.
a lot older.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I got support for it, although I wasn't asked about education or anything like that. I sort of knew what I wanted to be doing, so it wasn't like a concern, if you know what I mean.
yeah.
So,
I understand.
What was it you wanted to be doing?
so ever since that age, really, I knew I wanted to be in the army, and then it was until I was about 13, 14, I knew what I wanted to be in the army. So
We will get onto that at one point. Got any questions?
Well, I was just going to say, knowing what you want to do, so looking after your own country, so to speak,
yeah,
being in the army,
yeah,
and knowing that you want to do that at such a young age, to be fair,
yeah,
is a good thing. You get people who are like, oh, I want to be a footballer,
Yeah.
I want to be a singer, or
yeah.
I want to be an actor, and
Yeah.
things like that, whereas actually that's more of a realistic dream, isn't it,
Yeah,
really?
and I think a lot of people, teachers, people in general, people that I grew up with,
Mm.
didn't expect me to, ever be able to become that. So,
Yeah.
and that sort of used me. I use that as fuel in a way.
Did that give you motivation
Yeah, definitely,
to push towards,
definitely. Yeah,
fulfilling what you want to do?
No, of
Yeah.
course.
yeah.
So was there any like values or anything that you'd learnt from back then that I guess moulded you into the person you are today?
So having a direction where to go, wanting to be serving the army, I sort of the mentality that you sort of are taught to build, convince yourself is if you can get yourself over the line, if you can envision yourself getting over the line, then your body will sort of thingy. So that's the sort of mentality that I use.
Psychosomatic.
Yeah,
Yeah, of
yeah,
course.
it's like a form of
It's your
manifestation.
mindset.
Yeah.
Basically.
So I knew, growing up, I wanted to do that. So whether the bits in between matter, it wasn't asked. You know what I mean? It was all about the direction where I want to be going. So, yeah.
Go on, carry on. Sorry.
So once you were in the army, how did the reality differ from the actual dream of being in the army?
It's a good question.
So I joined at 16. I was joining Grenadier Guards, which I don't know if you...
I don't
My little
really
brother's
know.
training for the Grenadier Guards, so
Just
to speak.
explain to the viewers.
Yeah,
who
so-
don't-
Me too.
Grenadier Guards is it's an infantry-based regiment, though they have the ceremonial purposes as well. So they're the people outside Buckingham Palace with the
Okay.
big bear
Okay,
standards.
regiment. Yeah,
Forces.
makes sense.
That's
Yeah.
their ceremonial duties. They're infantry-based, so they're front line. So I joined at 16. I went to Army Foundation College, Harrogate.
Yeah, I know about
Joined in the March, and I had to do 42 weeks there to pass in phase 1. Sort of just plodded on as you do. Do you know what I mean? Going right the way through, and then so I joined in the March. Come March 2016, the end of that year, I failed a PFA, physical fitness assessment, whilst doing press-ups. And what I noticed right the way through phase 1 was my elbows used to click. So doing press-ups, they click. And on the last PFA, I failed it, like on the press-ups. So ended up getting examined by Medbay and then sent off for tests. And if I was on this is in the October, November of that year. So I was on sick from then, so I wasn't allowed to do anything like training wise.
Were you still at base?
Yes, still on
Yeah.
base, just basically in your digs basically.
Still get paid as well, don't you?
Yeah. So
That's the main thing.
you're still involved, but you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. So they were trying to work out what to do. So I was having tests. I was having these electric shocks put me on to figure out what was going on, and that's where they diagnosed with tennis elbow. So
Oh, yeah.
You ever clacked your elbow on the table and you get that shooting pain up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A funny bone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what would happen every time I'd press up.
Called you humerus.
Yeah. So
That's what it's called. It isn't it? It's called a humerus, that bone.
there's a nerve that runs in between the two canal there, and it basically slips every time you bend your elbow.
Yeah.
So, and I think it was just wear and tear really. I noticed it, but it just got progressively worse through training. So anyway, after being on Medbay and they found out what's what, there was 2 weeks left at Harrogate. This is where everyone was passing in, and they discharged me from them. So they discharged me to have operations because I only had 2 weeks left there, so I couldn't pass out. So they discharged me to have the operations to continue training, and so I wasn't it wasn't a formal discharge. It wasn't a medical. It was just a
Was it like
temporary
discharge, right?
Yeah. So there was no rehabilitation or anything like that because the plan was to continue.
Yeah.
So anyway, from that it was sort of a letdown in a sense because I started internalising it. I sort of swallowed it. It was a bitter pill to swallow, but
Was this when you were temporarily discharged?
Yeah.
Yeah. So at this point,
yeah.
you're feeling let down by the system?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say, if you've put all that work in, you've been
Yeah.
there for 40, you said 42 weeks?
40 weeks.
40
And
weeks
And
without
so-
the
and
two,
it's
yeah.
something that you've dreamt
Yeah.
of
Envisioned, of course.
to
Exactly.
become.
And even in the fact that I was on Medbay for 3 months prior, so it was sort of like a waste in a sense. Do you know what I mean? So I sort of felt let down, even though there was nothing anyone could have done anything differently. But still, the feeling was there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I didn't voice it. I just sort of took it on the chin and
What else can you do?
exactly.
So you just internalised it.
Yeah. Started developing anxiety. And
So is
sort
this
of
where it all stemmed from?
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
The low self-esteem, all that sort of stuff.
Beating yourself up about it.
Yeah.
So-
Even though I wasn't vocal about it, I didn't try and show it. I just
But you
sort of-
can't be kind.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
the stigma is you can't be vocal about it as a man. You have
Yeah.
to get on with it regardless.
Yeah. And especially at that age, 17, you sort of don't understand
Your feelings.
your feelings,
Course.
your feeling,
Of course.
all that sort of stuff. So
So
Would you say it changed you as a person? Like going through, not the part of being discharged, but being in the army itself to start at such a young age, did that maybe shape the person that you are today?
100%. I think I envisioned it for so long.
from young.
Like really young.
So what was it that initially made you want to become a soldier, or what was it?
I don't know. There was none of my family or close family were served or were in the army. There was no one that I sort of looked up to that had been in the army. Just something that I wanted to do myself.
I think every young boy at some point
Yeah.
has the fascination of guns and
Training
camo
for
and
duty.
My
Yeah,
brothers,
oh,
my brothers
mate.
were all Bear Grylls and SAS back in the day. So they trained for the Marines.
And there's
but
us
they
doing a
both
podcast.
failed medicals.
See,
And now one's in the Navy and
I
one's joining the Grenadier Guards.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's training. I don't know where he's based. It's up north,
Catterick.
Catterick.
Yeah.
So that's where Mum and Dad had just come back from today. They've been to see him today.
Good on him.
So
Good
yeah,
on- wish
but
him
he
all the
was police first. Left, didn't like it, so
Yeah.
he's left, and now he's
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just thought he was still.
no.
Um,
And then my other brother's been in the Navy. He's a PTI
Okay.
in the Navy. He's just got back from Germany.
Oh, nice. Good on him.
Yeah.
Good on him.
So what were the emotions and how did you actually feel coming up to knowing you were going into the army? It must have been surreal and
There was a lot of mixed emotions. Obviously, nerves, anxiety in a way, but whether it was nervous about going or doing that, but it was more excitement in a way, which is the same feeling as nerves.
did you not miss your family? You must have. Because
It
at a
was
young age, it must
Well,
be relatively daunting.
prior to joining the army. I was in cadets. Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
I started cadets at 12 years old, so
I did that and got kicked out. I
I'm
didn't.
not surprised.
Me
So-
instead.
You did it with him, did you?
I joined cadets at 12 and worked my way up, and this is where we changed detachments and become Grenadier Guards. So we went down to Aldershot, which is where they're based, and spent some time with them. So this is where the ambition of joining Grenadier Guards come into. So I worked my way up through the ranks in cadets up until I joined the army. So I got to colour sergeant, so I was platoon commander. So I had that sort of insight, you know what I mean? There's nothing that could prepare you, but it was like a little insight into what possibly could be.
Yeah.
So I had an understanding of uniform, weapons, drill, all that sort of stuff. So I had a little bit of experience in some sort of way. So, but prior to that, family-wise, I think they were more nervous.
They will be. It's daunting, especially 17 years old. You're still, a kid and
I think my
Reality.
stepdad was a big support because he said, well, it's what he wants to do. I didn't really have a plan B.
You just knew that's what you wanted.
Yeah, there's plan A or nothing.
yeah. Plan B is it's the
Yeah.
same really. If you
Well,
fail, you got to try
comes to that
again.
obstacle when it comes to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So-
That's what Plan B is. That's
So,
why.
so you've actually got into the army now. It's been cut short because you've
Yeah.
been temporarily discharged
Yeah.
for this operation. What happens next? Do you go ahead and have the operation?
Yeah, so I left it in March 2017, and then suppressing those feelings,
Yeah.
just carrying on as usual, just waiting for the operation to come in. That's when I started recreationally using drugs.
Right. Okay.
Taking
As a coping
drugs.
mechanism.
No, just
Or is
more as a
Escapism.
no. It was just more passed around, if you know what I mean.
Right.
And then it developed into that. Do you know
I
what
think
mean?
subconsciously that's like peer pressure. Well, that's like what I see it as because my older brother did what you did.
So
Yeah.
you're
And
saying
then-
it started off as just recreational,
Recreational.
having fun,
Yeah.
and it went into something a bit more
Yeah, it got
nefarious or
yeah, it
sinister.
got a bit out of. It got very out of hand quickly.
Right.
So
Okay.
as soon as I
Was this before you had the operation, or was
yeah,
while
this
you were
was,
waiting?
this was before. So
Okay.
it developed very quickly. Like I wasn't working at the time. I then started working. I was working for a builder as a labourer, and just carried on. It's just sort of a fill-in sort of thing. If you know what I mean?
So when you left the army to have this operation, did you ever think was the plan to have the operation and then come back into the army?
There was an element of that.
Right.
But I think the feelings that I had towards the past and sort of the military in that sort of sense, because of possibly how I was treated,
Did you have a sense of resentment towards
Yeah.
towards it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but there was a possibility I could have.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There was I was unsure because for me, I was sort of on a path to where I want to be going, but then that path was cut short.
So you're in this area of uncertainty,
Uncertainty.
Yeah, in the dark.
then, which
Yeah.
is where a lot of men struggle.
Fail.
Yeah, yeah.
It's dealing with uncertainty.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it could have been a possibility. So I had the one operation. I had my left arm done. I was getting big into drugs and sort of reckless behaviour. Turned 18 at the time, so I was going out, night on every day, and it just become progressively worse. You know,
So would you say you started to spiral?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I sort of took it on the chin as like a
Fuck you, sort of.
yeah, but it wasn't that sort of attitude. It was sort of just having a laugh in a sense.
So
you know what I mean?
at the time, did you think you had it under control?
Yeah, it was just sort of, for me at the time, it gave me a placebo ego.
Yeah.
Being on drugs and that sort of environment, all of that, and that was quite fulfilling in some sort of way because it gave me, it was like filling a big void.
It was passing time. It was
Yeah.
you weren't in your reality. You were in a
Yeah.
different,
Yeah.
which is sad because you see, like, if you look back at it now from then,
Yeah.
that uncertainty in a spiritual way could have been like you've got to work harder to get through this
yeah.
to then go back into the army. But
Yeah.
would you say that affects you now? You're full of regret and
No, I don't have any regret.
no?
No, genuinely.
That's fair enough.
No, I don't carry anything like that. I'd leave that in the past, and I've been asked this question quite a lot. Do I regret any of it? And to be honest, no, because I learned a lot from it.
I was going to say you learn from the
think-
mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
so you
having
don't
no
make them again. Yeah.
having no regret is your biggest asset, really. If,
Yeah.
you know, that's. Would you say that's the biggest lesson you've learned from the past 10 years?
I have an understanding of what has gone on different levels, if you know what I mean, whether it's like emotional, logical, philosophical, spiritual, in those sorts of ways. And that's how I became to understand my own mental health from different perspectives, different viewpoints. So it's not like it, I don't know, there's nothing that I can sort of feel I shouldn't have done that, or that shouldn't have happened, or do you know? I think everything does happen for
a reason, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's character development, regardless,
Yeah.
whatever it is. It's
So you're on this downward spiral now.
Yeah.
What happens next?
So the downward spiral, people were noticing the behaviour that I was doing.
Well, your friends and family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
More friends and people like that. It was more, they noticed and mentioned it, and this was, in the summertime, and when you're doing it on a Tuesday night at 5 o'clock, they're like, what are you doing, sort of thing.
yeah, that is a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your friends weren't encouraging you to.
No,
Live
I
that
was,
life.
I
That's
was
a
sort
good
of
thing.
The encouragement. I was a bad influence.
Because you were the instigator.
Yeah.
You were the naughty one.
Yeah.
That sounds like me in our group. I'm always not. Oh,
Yeah.
you do it, I'll do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was it. But I sort of just went, it was there. Do you know what I mean? That was it. But I took it on board and possibly thought about it, but it just got way worse. Do you know?
Okay.
It was more and more reckless behaviour.
And what did it lead to, like a breaking point at some
Um,
point, or?
I started lying about it.
Yeah.
You know,
To yourself or other people?
other people.
Yeah.
And as well as carrying on.
Hmm.
And when you start lying about those sorts of things, and
You know yourself that it's at that bad, the worst point it could probably
Yeah,
be
yeah.
at.
You carry
you've
it.
got an issue.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're
I've-
carrying other things as
Yeah.
well. Then, do you know what I mean?
I've never
It's-
like really drank or done drugs, so you saying all this gives me a proper insight into it because my older brother didn't really speak about these things with me.
Yeah,
He didn't have chance to really because he did become pretty ill.
yeah,
So do you know what I mean? You saying this, it's probably how my brother was feeling at the same time. It's a bit,
yeah.
it is a bit mad. But disclaimer for anyone listening: this is more like educational and sort of
information.
Yeah, we're trying to push a positive way of life, do you know what I mean? And by Brad and Ollie coming on, it's helping us get our foot in that door, do you know what I mean? So please don't take any offence to, the stuff we are saying. We are trying to open people's eyes. I mean, especially people of our age. We're all young still, and
Yeah.
it's normal for you.
Yeah.
Of course, it's normal for you
it's
to.
quite relatable nowadays.
It is.
And I think a lot of people, especially nowadays, who have been doing it for a long time and just stay in that sort of environment, it becomes the norm. And it's it's very common nowadays, drugs and.
Yeah, it is.
It's especially in our generation. I know obviously all generations really, but our generation it is probably
bad.
I think we only see it as that because we're not in Ollie's generation, or do you know what I mean? But they probably were just as bad when you were growing up.
Yeah, definitely.
Like my gaffer said the other day, like when he used to go to raves and that, he'd either see a bottle of water or lager, and he could differentiate. You know what I mean? What it's either if you've got water in your hand, you're banging pills, mate. You've got a lager, you're just a pisshead.
It's not. It's. I find it quite obscene the fact that if you go to a pub and you go, I'm not drinking. People look at you a bit.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
All the time.
And that's how normal it is. Either drinking or drugs,
smoking, anything.
That
it all associates around the same environment, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like a nightclub, drugs.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yep. And
pubs as well. Yeah.
That's the today we live in. Do you know what I mean? So, and I think a lot of people don't realise the impact that it possibly
They
could
don't.
have.
They don't.
No.
They don't.
But what happened going through this time with me, with the reckless behaviour and the lies, and I started thinking, right, I need to start somewhere. So I tried a bit, like stopping every now and again. And
Tolerance break, they call it, innit?
Yeah. And I can remember vividly one Friday, Friday the 17th of November. It was a usual day. I woke up sober, went to work, come home, went to the gym, went for a swim, got some food with a mate. And then one of the lads that I went out with, who used to drive us about, comes to where we're having food. And the lad who I went to the gym with, he's like, let me take you home tonight. I said, I don't know. And I went, nah, it's alright, we'll just go for a piss about and go home. Anyway, we started pissing about, as you do, as 18-year-olds do, just driving. And it got to about 1 o'clock Saturday morning, and we're driving home, and we ended up losing control, or he lost control of the car, and ended up in a crash, quite a serious crash.
Right. So, they say, like, when you go through events like this, like crashes and that, because of the surge of adrenaline that you get from when you know something bad's going to happen, it can cause time dilation. I mean, did you experience that? Or did everything sort of like happen in slow motion when it was happening? So can you explain frame by frame that night? Yeah.
So, especially the moments leading up to the crash, we're driving on a road that I go back into on every day, and we're driving fast, and we come to a part of that road. And I can remember everything so vividly, the music, the time, I listen to the song still every day. And I looked over at Speedo.
Can you remember what was playing?
Yeah, Congratulations, Post Malone.
Yeah, banger. Yeah. Well, it's not. Yeah, at the time, that's probably the worst song you can't listen to.
It was a song that I played regularly.
That's crazy. At least it wasn't Better Now by Post Malone. That would have been.
I fall apart or something. So I can remember coming up to this location and seeing the signs, and I looked over the Speedo, and this is where the what you're explaining. I remember
time dilation.
Looking at the Speedo and experiencing deja vu.
I did exactly the same.
That's
thing
crazy.
In mine.
Did you?
Yeah, I was looking at the speed, telling him to slow down. Didn't. I can't say too much about mine.
No.
Claims going on, but
well, off camera, he'll explain to you.
Yeah, I'll explain to you off camera. Yeah.
I looked at the Speedo and had like sort of a realization of, fuck, do you know what I mean? And it was a deja vu where I knew what was coming. Yeah. So it went very slow. We're coming up to a corner where there's a barrier going round because there's a hell of a drop going off. And we hit the curb on my side of the road and lost control, started sliding down the road to where we come off the drop. And as we went off, we started rolling in the air, hit down nose first. And I was wearing the seatbelt, so my body stayed still, but my head went like that. With my head going like that, I headbutt the dashboard and was knocked out. And the driver said that we were rolling over 10 times down into the field. Bear in mind, this is 1 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. So I come round where the car is passenger side down, and my friend was booting into the sunroof, which is sort of where my head is now. And he said, "Can you move?" Sort of. I come round and felt pain all down my neck and spine and that. And what he was doing is kicking into the sunroof because the car was smoking. So
Right, okay.
he was kicking into the sunroof trying to get me out, and he said, "Can you move?" And I sort of was very much in pain. So he climbed in from his side, like down, undone my seatbelt, put me out of the car, and I'm holding my head up like this now. And we walked up the field. We both lost our phones. They went out the window. He had put his head through his side window, so he had a big gash across his head. And with him climbing in over his car, he covered me in his blood.
It must have looked like something out of a horror film.
Oh yeah, it was pretty
Scary movie or
Did
something.
you think some of you'd been cut open as well then? If there was blood going all
I
over
was a
you?
bit disorientated. I knew what had gone on
Yeah.
straight away in some sort of way, but the pain was. I knew I'd done something serious. I was holding my head on like this.
So you're both out the car by now,
Yeah.
covered in blood.
Yeah.
What happens next?
Walked up the field, climbed over the gate, and then waited on the side of the road for a car to come past. And some woman come past in the car, and we just both stepped out in the road, and we were like this. As you can imagine.
Deer in the headlights.
Two young guys
Two
covered in blood.
One's holding his head on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, right? To not bang that, please, bro,
course.
because it'll come up on the.
Sorry.
No, you don't need to apologise. It's just if it comes up on the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mic, yeah.
Yeah. So this lady pulls up in the car. Lewis jumped in the back of the car and passed out. So I'm trying to coordinate the ambulance to where we are, and they come, start doing our robs. So I'm holding my head up like this still. Lewis is getting his head seen to, and get taken off Shrewsbury. I'm climbed out the car, so they think I'm possibly okay. And
Until further inspection.
yeah, it's where I had the X-ray, and what I'd done is I dislocated C7. So the top of your spine, bottom of your neck is C7, and I dislocated there and fractured 5 vertebrae below. So in total, I fractured 7 vertebrae, and on the X-ray, your vertebrae are like this. And everyone's like that. Mine was like this, like twisted. My spinal cord was.
Shit.
So
It just reminds me of
So-
stuff. Yeah.
So you could have been paralysed then.
yeah, they
Right.
were concerned about moving me. So my mum come there, where the doctor took her away and explained the situation, and she come in and said they're thinking about airlifting you to Stoke to operate on you because of the road from Shrewsbury to Stoke was
Yeah.
awful. So
Long as well.
yeah. So anyway, the whole hospital experience is traumatic enough, never mind with the pain. So I ended up getting taken to Stoke. in an
Airlifted?
ambulance. No, I was
Oh, okay.
taken in the ambulance, unfortunately.
Yeah,
No free
bit of
helicopter
an
ride now.
experience when they're going in a chopper, like.
Yeah. Let's get an Uber.
Yeah.
I swear you can get an Uber helicopter now.
Yeah.
A plane, it's mad.
Yeah, it's quite
It's mad. Carry on, sorry.
That's all right. Had the operation Sunday, where they fused the dislocation and then fitted surgical rods either side to let it,
Heal.
let the fusion heal. So recovery time, I was out within a week.
Really? So after that
That's good,
crash,
that is.
you were only in the hospital for a week then?
Yeah.
That's
Right.
really good.
Yeah.
They done their jobs properly then.
Yeah, well, it was sort of a...
What about the recovery process once you're at home?
It was... So, what the recovery was, so the physio come round straight away after the operation trying to set you up. And I was horrible in hospital. I ended up getting bounced about on the wards and ended up getting put into like a little cupboard by myself because of how much of a pain in the arse I was. Anyway, the physio kept coming round every day. Fucking here we go, sort of thing. And the first day they'd have to sit me up. I'd be alright, that's enough, then I'd go away. And next day they had me stood up, then I was walking round the bed, and then eventually just got better getting up, doing that sort of stuff. And on the Friday I went for an x-ray, and they said if you can walk up and down stairs, if you can sit up and down on a toilet.
Was it those little stair things?
Proper,
actual stairs?
Proper stairs. They took me to the bottom of the stairs, and they said if you can get all the way to the top you can go home. So I was there like, come on then.
Proper trying.
Yeah, I didn't want to be there anymore.
Imagine he runs up it, I was lying to you the whole time.
Having a mob. But at the same time, I'm struggling with the pain. I'm struggling with how I'm feeling about everything.
Is that mentally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very rarely sleeping, just very emotional.
Did you have flashbacks?
Yeah. When I come home, on the first, like leaving the hospital to go home, it's quite late at night. Well, like 7 o'clock, so it was dark at that time of year. And I can remember having my first panic attack in the car. So, because I'm sat in the front of the car with a neck brace on, so I can't look around.
Yeah.
So I sort of see in the corner of my eye a light, and you start going in the car, and I think it's a car, so I chip myself and lose it from then. So I knew from that get-go, do you know what I mean? I wasn't good. Struggled sleeping. I was taking morphine every 2 hours. So the addiction prior to the accident just developed 10 times worse.
So did you get addicted to morphine, did you?
Yeah.
I was taking that for 3 months, so I was waking up every 2 hours just to...
It's meant to be every 4, you're meant to have like 10 mil, isn't it?
Is it?
I think.
It could be. I think it was every 4 and I was waking up every 2.
Smashing it, lad.
Yeah. Bottle oxynon.
I was prescribed exactly the same stuff, yeah.
And it's awful. Like, the physical symptoms that you have with it, the sweats, shakes, and you feel like you've got anxiety in a way, but it's morphine, heroin.
Yeah.
Opium, isn't it?
Yeah, opium. So it's the cleanest form of heroin.
Yeah.
So, and to me, like experiencing addiction, I don't see smackhead or someone who's addicted to heroin like an 80-year-old woman who's just had a hip replacement any different.
Yeah.
Even though difference is she's prescribed it and he gets on the corner. So yeah,
It's mad. So, going back to that night, were you sober during the crash?
yeah, stone cold sober.
He's
Crazy.
a driver as well, so.
Yep. He didn't do anything, didn't drink.
So, I'd say that's like a second chance of life. Maybe if
Yeah,
you weren't
someone's
supposed to
looking
get
at you.
into that car crash that night,
Yeah.
that addiction,
Yeah.
God only knows where you'd be now if it
Well,
weren't for that car crash.
It's
Really.
quite surreal thing. So my granddad passed away a couple of weeks before the crash, and that was quite an emotional thing for me. So that's where drugs and everything come more on as well. So, and from Candy passing, I thought that he wouldn't want me. If he's looking down on me, he wouldn't want me doing this. So, and I can remember being in the hospital. My dad and stepmom come to see me, and my dad said when they walked through the doors in the ward, they looked up at what ward it was, and my granddad had been on that ward.
Crazy.
At some point.
Wow.
So
There's your answer then. It's your
Yeah.
granddad
Yeah.
looking down on
Yeah.
you. Rest in peace
Right.
to your
So-
granddad.
You're discharged from the army. You start abusing drugs.
Yeah.
You have a car crash.
Yeah.
And you're on opioids.
Yeah.
Are you talking to anybody about how you're feeling
no, I didn't.
from all these events?
No, I didn't speak to anyone, family, friends, nothing.
So this is just building and building
Yeah.
so far. Right,
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can remember 2-3 months after the accident, my stepdad probably could have told that I wasn't myself as well. You know, he could say something underlying, and he got it out of me how I was feeling, and I can remember it vividly when he's taking me home, and he asked and asked and asked, and I ended up jumping out of the car as we come to a stop and running down the bypass, and completely losing my head. Like, I didn't want to be there anymore. I didn't want to feel like that.
Yeah,
So
angry
it's
as well,
like
sort
you
of thing.
overwhelmed.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the fight or flight.
Yeah. You know, I
experience.
didn't want to. Suicide had crossed my mind
Okay,
for the first time,
right.
and it was the feeling of what life was. I didn't want to experience that life anymore.
So would you say that was the moment where you'd realise the addiction was taking over your life?
Addiction was bad. He noticed me with the shakes and the sweats with the morphine, and he was the one who got everything out of me. So I can remember speaking to him, and
So is this your stepdad?
my stepdad,
Okay.
yeah. And I was saying about how I was feeling, you know, and it brought up all go back to the army, and my mum said, sorry to sort of divert, but this comes into play. My mum come into my room one night just after the crash, and apparently I was having a night terror but still asleep, and I sort of semi woke up, and I said I need to get to Harrogate, and I like sat up in a rush and pretended to start getting going, and like in a way sort of reliving those sorts of things. So, but a lot of stuff come up from like PTSD and anxiety and depression, all that sort of stuff. So that's when I first initially spoke to a professional, like a doctor, about my mental health, and they fobbed me off, I think, with sertraline.
That's the worst antidepressant I've ever taken in my life.
And I thought it made me
It made me way worse.
I think, more than anything sertraline did.
Yeah, I couldn't hack it. Like, my body couldn't hack it at all. So, but
Mad side effects.
yeah,
Fucking
massively.
mad ones.
I with the morphine addiction and with the pain, I stopped taking morphine and started smoking weed. Marijuana as a way to wean me off.
Substitute.
Yeah,
Yes
and to help with the pain, anxiety, all that sort of stuff. So that developed from one habit to another, and it helped at the time.
Yeah.
But this is where sort of a stagnant life comes into play, you know, like an uncertainty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So would you say, like, taking all these drugs, I know it started off as just recreational, would you say that was really, like, subconsciously your way of escaping the reality of not being able to achieve what your childhood dream was?
Yeah, it was an escapism. It was filling that void of, you know, not reaching my ambitions, where, you know, I thought I could succeed. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's the escapism, definitely. You know, and not wanting to live how I was living and what I was feeling, definitely.
So that was ultimately your darkest period.
Do you think
That was one of the first ones. That was that was a stepping stone.
Okay.
Do you think it was also so you didn't have to face how you were feeling
Yeah,
about
definitely.
everything,
Yeah,
about all
it
the
was a
events?
comfort blanket.
Yeah.
You know, it was a numbness. You know, it could tune the emotions down and the feelings and.
But you finally admitted to yourself that there was a problem,
Yeah.
obviously, because you said you went and got help and they put you on sertraline, was it?
Yeah.
But did you not feel that was the right way to go with your situation?
I think it was a cry for help in a way, and they just go, there you go.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a lot of people will resonate with this, where you go to the doctor for fucking anything in a way, but mental health especially.
Yeah.
They'll just fob you off with a load of medication.
Do you feel that
It's all for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel a sense of they were just treating the symptom and not the actual cause?
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
always the way, though.
definitely.
That is always the way.
Definitely. You know, and therapy is things to get over things like PTSD, anxiety, all those sorts of things.
Will make you look at it from a different angle. So when it comes to that
Yeah.
challenge, it's not so in your face and
Yeah.
oh shit, I'm
They
gonna
give you
I'm
sort
gonna
of-
die, or
Yeah.
because that's what it is initially. When you have a panic attack, you think, oh fucking, I'm
So
an heart attack, I'm
Did
gonna
you
die.
get therapy, or did they offer therapy at
Not
all?
at, not at that time.
No.
I think I started speaking to people instead of isolating myself, and especially started opening up about how I was feeling, all those sorts of things. And
So was there a period where you felt isolated,
yeah,
even when there was people
yeah,
around you?
from coming out of training
Right.
to those points, like even though you're in a room full of people, the loneliness is so heavy.
Yeah.
It was hard, and especially when on drugs, like you're in a pub as well, or you're at someone's house or event, whatever, and there's just like a hollowness inside you. Do you know what I mean? So you just put a mask on. I call it like a placebo ego.
Yeah.
So the isolation and loneliness was massive.
They say it's always the funniest or the loudest one in the room is the most depressed. Or
Yeah. Yeah.
do you not feel like now you've come to this point of, growing as the person you are now? Do you not still sometimes feel like people can't relate, or do you know what I mean?
I think they can relate in their own ways. I think especially now, you speak to people and like all those sorts of things, like drugs or alcohol especially, they it can be recreational. I understand that, but there is a very fine line between recreational and
Masking it.
And
addiction.
having a problem.
yeah. Whether you
Want to admit it or not?
Yeah.
Yes.
it's there's a very fine line. Do you know what I mean? And I speak to quite a lot of people now about addictions and my past and their experiences, all that sort of stuff, and you can relate. But from this, at the time when I was 18, just after sort of healing, like getting back up on my feet, mobility wise, I started getting out more, and we seeing my mates start getting that old sort of lifestyle back.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
How long was the recovery?
The recovery. So I'll never be 100% as I was, but I think I was discharged at 6 months, where I was happy with where I was going.
Yeah.
I didn't have to wear the neck brace anymore. It was more just strengthening everything and physio, all that sort of stuff. So
Were you at the orthopaedic for that? If you're
Yeah.
from Oswestry?
yeah,
That's where I go.
yeah.
It's a good hospital.
Really good. Yeah,
It
really
is.
good. They're one of the leading
Yeah,
spinal
it
wards
is.
there.
Yeah.
So that was 6 months. This would have been the middle of 2018, and I worked at Wireless Festival in London
Oh, sick.
in the July.
What was that? Like security guard.
No. So one of my friends' relatives had a shop there, and we got
sick.
we got free tickets and working tickets. So we had to work a couple of shifts, and go watch whatever.
Whoever. Yeah, of course.
There was.
What year was this?
2018.
Would have been Drake. People out then. Drake
was
gigs.
special guest to
Yeah.
come out at the end of that Sunday.
Boy, better know.
Post Malone?
Post
Nah.
Malone was there, first time.
What, for wireless?
Yeah, first
Crazy.
time I seen
I
He's
him.
didn't
done
know
wireless
that.
before, yeah.
So this was 2018, and went to Wireless, and then I booked to go Leeds with my friends. So I sort of felt, getting on that sort of stuff again. I sort of felt the old version of me prior to Crash come back. So I sort of felt in line with myself again. Do you know what I mean? An old habit coming back.
Right. Okay.
Do you think that was the environment you were in? So being at a festival, or?
Yeah,
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 definitely. Because obviously festivals,
It's the temptation, isn't it?
everyone, a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
of people at festivals,
Course they
you
do.
know, drugs.
I didn't enjoy going to the pubs or as such in a way after this because
It's not the same.
you want that high.
Yeah.
Without festivals.
You're
all that
chasing
sort
it,
of
and it's
stuff.
not like.
So, but no, I ended up getting a job in the end, like almost a year after the accident, just like a usual job, and I bent down as I'm working, and with my neck being restricted, as well as the rods being in place, I broke the rods.
Ooh.
So
You felt instant pain.
yeah, it was like a.
Did you hear it?
Yeah,
Good. Nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that put me off work from there.
How long was that for?
That was until they decided what had gone on, what to do. So, you know, this was in the March 2019, and you go back to that old habit of what you don't, what you do when you don't have nothing to do, just drugs, just, all that sort of stuff.
So it was a bit of a setback then, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think I thought I was getting my life somewhere back on track.
So it set you back emotionally as well then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of back to square one.
Yeah.
Sort of
Yeah,
thing,
it was like start getting up on my feet again and then put back down. Do you know what
I'm
I mean?
assuming it was another operation.
Well, I had to have X-rays and scans. So this was 2019, bearing in mind. It wasn't like an emergency operation. It was a booked-in procedure.
Booking, yeah. Whenever it happens, it happens. Yeah.
So
Typical NHS, mate.
with all this coming into consideration, as well as everything prior from the army up until the crash, drugs, all that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
work. I also, in 2019, I found out something happened to me as a kid. And
So is this something that you suppressed and you
Yeah.
didn't realise?
yeah.
Okay.
So there was a lot of suppression as well from all this still. And it eventually developed in a thing called hypomania.
Okay.
I remember
So-
you telling me this
so-
after men's club.
Just
Yeah.
explain to everyone what hypomania is.
So hypomania is like it's a manic episodes, and it sort of progressed from like suppression, trying to think how am I going to get better. This is what happened to me personally. So I started trying to think how I'm going to better myself, how I'm going to do all this, and I then convinced myself that I was going to be the next Prime Minister.
So,
Genuinely.
so in this state of hypomania, would you say like your perception of reality is quite distorted?
Yeah, so there was never psychosis. It was quite understanding, if you know what I mean, of what I was saying. It wasn't like seeing fairies or
No,
anything like
but
that.
so you were aware
Yeah,
of what, and you
Yeah.
believed what.
yeah,
That's
what
the
you
worst
thought.
part.
yeah.
Okay.
I then, it presented in quite a unusual way. I can remember coming clean to my mum, like what I was doing, like drugs and all that, and that was unusual behaviour for me. It was,
And how did she take it?
not very good,
No,
as you can imagine.
Yeah.
A good mum would. It would
Yeah.
be,
it'd be heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Do you think she knew, like maybe something?
Probably.
You reckon,
I'd
or-
have.
yeah. And I was babbling on a lot, like a load of stuff that wasn't the usual me. If you understand.
So was this start of a manic episode?
Yeah.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. So it was.
So talk us
It
through
was
that.
like the manic episode is mania. So you're very heightened, very unstable.
Yeah.
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 And I remember getting an appointment. My mum put me an appointment for the doctors, and I had quite a lot of my family there, and I was babbling on to the doctor how I'm going to be the next Prime Minister and change the world. And
Must
all
have
this
been
sort of
quite must have been quite worrying for your family to
Yeah.
see you going through
yeah,
this.
especially when none of them had experienced mental health as such, or
Yeah.
especially seeing anything like this. And the doctor was a bit obviously concerned, so that's when the crisis team first come out to me, and I'm like babbling on. They eventually come out, and one of the crisis team nurses, he was going on and on and on, and I had a doctor come out as well, and he just asked me 3 very simple questions. He said, "What day is it?" And I said the date. Where are you? Explained where I was, and he said, "Who's our Prime Minister?" I said, "Well, we haven't got one." He went, "What do you mean we haven't got one?" And at the time, Theresa May had just resigned.
Yeah.
I said, "Well, she's resigned," and he went, "Why do you think that is?" I went, "'Cause she's fucking shit." Anyway, and it was quite funny, but he taught me through a coping mechanism, which he said I've been doing for quite some time, and he said, "You've been doing this whilst taking a bong," and what he said was, "I want you to take a deep breath in, really slow and controlled, to where your lungs are fully inhaled, and hold it as you do a bong, and then blow out." And I can remember doing it, and you feel it right in your diaphragm, and I just burst into like a ball of tears.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a big release. Right, okay.
And this was when they wanted me to, suggested me stopping doing drugs, which I wasn't happy about, but they said, "We can't help you if you're doing it."
Yeah.
So, and they prescribed me diazepam and quetiapine to start with, which is an antipsychotic.
But that weren't fun.
No.
Nasty nightmares from
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
pills. It's mad.
So this just got worse and worse and worse. I was begging. This started in the July, and 2019, and I can remember begging them, in the crisis team, and I'd have mental health assessments to section me. But because I was had capacity, and because I was asking them to section me, they wouldn't. So, which just made my anxiety worse, because I just never imagine an unstable person staying in your home, and you're having to deal with it. So that's what my family had to do. So it's sort of left to them in a way.
So you've acknowledged that you have a mental health issue here, and you're literally asking for help.
Yeah.
And they're turning you away.
Yeah.
So obviously, again, you must have felt let down by the system yet again.
Yeah. Definitely. In a sense, it was fobbed off with a load of medication again.
Right. Okay.
Because I was given diazepam. I can remember them coming out one point. I hadn't slept for 3 days prior, and they come there with 3-day dose of diazepam, which is 60 milligram, and the doctor said, "Take that now and go to sleep." I still didn't sleep for another 2 days.
So they're literally just chucking drugs at you, hoping that
I just calmed down.
Yeah.
And
Okay. So
when they wouldn't help, it'd just make it worse.
So this is starting to escalate now.
Yeah. And it just progressively got worse and worse and worse, where I'd call them, have an assessment, nothing would happen, so then I'd end up getting taken to Shrewsbury Hospital or another hospital, where they wouldn't do anything there. I can remember going to Shrewsbury once, having an assessment. The crisis team had come out prior to this on that same day, and it got to the point where I wasn't coping with anything, and what I knew at that time was I coped through smoking weed. So I remember getting weed, which obviously is a no-no from their position and my family at the time, and it just made what I thought could help me cope was not good.
Yeah.
So, I can remember going to Shrewsbury, having an assessment again, and I for some reason I started cutting my cheeks as a way of showing how possibly bad I am.
So that was the only way you could express to them
like it is
your state of mind.
If you could see someone's mental health, I think it would be.
So instead of hurting yourself through drugs, you're now harming yourself.
Self-harm.
To sort of get them to see you need help. You don't just want to have drugs thrown at you. So
And this was to the crisis team.
Yeah.
So what did they do once you started obviously self-harming, cutting your cheeks?
They just sort of dismissed me. They said, "Look, there's nothing we can do."
Really?
That's what they do.
So I left Shrewsbury, and went right way into Redwoods.
Right.
And
It's only around the corner, isn't it? So,
Yeah,
It's just over the field, isn't it?
yeah, literally.
and I sat in the reception room. I said, "Can you get a mental health nurse out? I'm having a crisis." And the same person come out and said, "Look, I've already assessed you. You need to go." I said, "I ain't leaving until you do something now."
So you're literally crying out for help
Yeah.
to these people,
Yeah.
and they're not doing anything about it.
Do you know what as well? I've been through, not to that severity, as severe as that, but there's been times where I've had to ring the doctors, and all they've had to offer is cognitive behavioural treatment.
CBT.
I don't need that. I've got issues, mate. What? How the fuck is looking at something a different way? I know it's like that, but I've going through the actual assessments and stuff of ADHD. I've been told I've got it, but they're doing the final
Assessment.
Yeah. And I know I've got it. I've always suffered with it, but it's not the same as most people's. I'm just fucking loopy, mate. You know what I mean? And the fact that all they say is, "Oh, we'll give you this,"
Yeah.
and then it's like when they ring you, it's like they're patronising you. Do you know what I mean? The
Yeah.
stuff they ask you and the stuff they tell you to do, it's not gonna fucking help me, mate.
No.
It's not gonna help
Everyone's
me deal
got
with.
different ways of
Yeah.
coping with certain things as well, if you know what I mean. So me having therapy, that helped with my flashbacks to
Okay.
my accident.
Okay.
I felt like actually speaking about it instead of covering it up and denying the fact that I'm still hurt by what happened
Yeah.
mentally.
Yeah.
Just talking about it actually really helped me.
Yeah.
Would you say that's
And I've
changed
only
you?
just finished it now.
So would you say that's changed you as a person?
I'd say that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm lucky that I'm still here. I'm still a dad. My son's still got his dad. Do you know what I
That's
mean?
true.
Good man. Good
Someone was obviously looking over me, like we said, with your accident.
Yeah. Are you able to see what happened to you differently now?
Since I finished my last therapy session,
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Good.
It's just sort of coping. So if you say you wake up in the night and you get the flashback, coping with it. So like you said, the breathing.
Yeah.
That works a treat
Yeah.
with me
Yeah,
if I'm
yeah.
having a panic attack.
Yeah.
But it's also seeing it as I'm not angry anymore with, say, the driver
Or the world? Do you know
or
what I
the
mean? 'Cause
world,
it's like
or
a
at
world.
myself
Sort of.
for being in that situation in the first
Yeah.
place. It's more, it happened.
You've
I've
accepted
learned from it. I've accepted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Good.
Slowly getting better. 15 months down the line. But
I think that's what I'm stuck in now. Mentally,
Yeah.
the part of what you've literally just said.
Yeah.
everyone's
Mad.
different, like I said though. So some people they will have the medication, like they find that helps. But then
Yeah.
other people are like, oh, talking or going for a walk or go and play
Yeah.
football, go up a mountain.
Everyone's got their own fix.
They're different.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they're-
Their own
Everyone's got their own
preference.
fix. Whether
Have-
it's knitting, going for a walk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you been on medication for it?
No, see that's
Yeah,
one
you see,
thing.
you're lucky.
That's one thing I'd never do for my mental health. I've always tried to tackle it myself.
It's the best way.
I've not been a fan of medicating. Like I say, it's you're medicating the symptom, not the actual cause.
Yeah,
So
of
I like
course
to
it
try
is.
and internalise and work out what the actual cause is
Yeah.
that I'm feeling the way I'm feeling.
Doing it in a natural way.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get off my tazapine, but because I can't sleep at night, if I take that straight out.
Yeah.
But I don't know if
understand
that's just psychosomatic because now it's like
It's like a placebo.
I'm addicted to it now. It's not even the fact that I can just come off it because I know that there's been times where I've had 2 weeks off it, I'm fucking scratching my neck and shit,
Yeah.
losing my head, honestly losing my head, and I'm like, what the fuck do I do? I'm hooked on them, and the actual issue isn't depression and anxiety. It's fucking real life, and
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? But people don't care to see these things. They think that if there's something wrong with you, you're just weird. Do you know what I mean? And it's sad, and if it's just life, innit?
Yeah. So you're in the Redwood Centre reception now.
Yeah.
Crying out for help.
Yep.
You've cut your cheeks. What happens next?
I was refusing to leave, asking for help. So they ended up calling the police, and policeman understood the situation, and he said, he was being quite my-sided, and he said, "Can you not just do anything for him?" They said, "Well, we can't."
Incidentally, what were you cutting your cheeks with?
Just a credit card.
Right. Okay.
Fucking hell.
Um,
Doing the Chelsea grin.
yeah.
Right.
Mad man.
I can remember being in hospital as well, and when they're sat there looking at you just stone cold, I was, the alcohol pump on the walls. I can remember just wiping that all over my face.
Oh my days,
That would
mate.
sting with like a bitch, wouldn't it?
I was so
Oh
unpredictable.
my
I
god.
was so unpredictable.
Yeah.
But from then, the police ended up taking me home. He said, "Look, I'm really sorry, but this is what I have to do."
Yeah.
So I remember going home and ended up going up Cheshire way, and hadn't slept for a night or two. Trying to calm down.
Sleep deprivation has a
Yeah.
big part to play in your
Yeah.
in your mental state as well.
What it was, if I'd if I had a thought or something to express, that was coming out the way, and then it would just unfold,
Right.
and just get worse and worse. But you know when you're lying there and you're trying to sleep, but you have something going on in your head, and you just can't sort of switch
You're
off.
overthinking. Like.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I do now. Even though I
Yeah.
take the
It was
pills
massive.
sometimes. Like,
Massive amount of anxiety, so continuously in flight or fight mode, and from the police taking me home and then going up Northway, I ended up staying up there and still not sleeping, and that was breaking point for me. I knew I needed to do something, and I can remember saying, look, like my family was up their end of their wits.
So you obviously still had your faculties, but you knew in yourself there was something wrong that you needed help with.
Yeah, it needed addressing then.
In a mental way, like.
Yeah.
Do you feel as if you were pushing family away?
Yeah.
And friends as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think when you're so unpredictable and unstable, not your usual self, especially your family and friends, they don't know how to cope.
Mm.
Especially in someone in those situations, you know, what do you do? You know, a lot of people could just sit there and probably let me waffle on for hours and just not have to say anything, just be there.
Yeah.
And that helped, you know. But when people, this is going to sound quite narcissistic in a way, but when they'd argue or dismiss, or which rifled me up even more, as you can imagine.
but that's because they haven't got the understanding that you have of your reality, innit?
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. And it's quite a. You know, it was hard. It was hard. It was a lot of stress. It was a lot of pressure, not just on myself, but especially my family and friends. But from Redwoods going up north, not sleeping again, I thought, right, that is it. I'm at Thames End. I need to do something. So I remember leaving and walking into an area, and I had got a big knife out of a drawer. More to do harm to myself.
Rather than to anybody else.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Even though I felt in those sorts of ways.
Are you comfortable talking about this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is okay.
Sorry to sound rude, Mary, but we're going to take a break after you've explained this, because
Yeah.
it's like 40 degrees in here, and I can't
That
cope.
fan isn't doing anything.
Yeah.
We'll get through this.
My
story.
underboob sweat is crazy right now. Sorry, man. I can't.
So hang on. So you're having this manic episode. You're walking around with a big knife.
Yeah.
In the middle of the town.
Yeah. Wait,
Okay.
this was 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right,
Jesus.
Haven't slept for 2-3 days.
Okay.
So you had no sense of reality, time, day, whatever. It was just
No.
You
was-
just
At the time, I was posting everything on social media too.
really.
Yeah, there was photos of me.
So
with cuts all over
would
my
you say you
cheeks.
were in a state of despair, really? Because
Yeah. And was walking around with this big knife, and it was a cry for help,
yeah.
as
Yeah.
dramatic as it may seem.
Yeah.
So I called the police on myself, explained, look, I've got a big knife on me.
So you called the police on yourself, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just to try and get help.
Like
Right.
show, present the actual possibility it could be.
Yeah.
Even though it's how I felt, I called the police in 30 seconds. 3 armed police pull up, and they're at the car, and I'm lit up like a fucking tape, like a Christmas tree.
So you got armed police sighted in on you,
Yeah, and I'm having a face off with them.
right? Okay.
Explaining, look, I need help. What's gone on? All this sort of stuff, and they're demanding what I need to do and all that. So you're cuffed up, and
Yeah.
then
Well, that could have ended quite differently
yeah,
if you think about it. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
all they're seeing is a possible threat to the public. There's
Exactly.
this guy running around with
Exactly.
a knife.
I think that's what I said. Look, I've got a big machete on me. I'm a threat to myself and others. Can you help me?
Do you want to leave it there? Have a quick break, boys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right. Any?
I'm good.
Right, boys. Boys, we're back. Going from what we spoke about, Redwoods, the police.
Yeah.
What happened after you'd spoke to the police?
So the police detained me. I spoke about the whole situation, what was going on. I just said, look, it's a cry for help. I feel like I'm becoming a threat to myself or others. So they said, yep, all custody, all good. So I took the knife, give it back, and they didn't take me to the hospital. They called an ambulance where I was taken to hospital. And was taken to Leighton Hospital, which I was usually at Shrewsbury. Leighton's in Crewe. And,
Okay, yeah.
I had a mental health assessment there, and I was quite eager, like arrogant in a way, like I need help now, sort of thing. This is what's gone on this morning. This is what's gone on these past few days.
I'd say that's more persistent than arrogant. Though. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say that's because it's such an urgent
Yeah.
fight or flight again. Do you know what I
So,
mean?
and I can remember being in the assessment room. You know, they have these big heavy chairs. You got like a room to yourself. So it was all. It wasn't like padded walls or anything. And they said, look, there's nothing we can do. So I said, you need to do something now. So I started threatening. I said, otherwise something bad's going to happen. Like, look what's happened this morning. Look what's going to happen now. So, and they ended up calling the police, where I ended up getting nicked and for threatening behaviour. I was detained and taken to Middlewich cells.
Is that Oswestry way?
No, this is Cheshire.
Okay.
And then, yeah, that was spent a few hours in the cells where they interviewed me. I explained everything, and I come out and they said, look, you've got a mental health plan in place, stick to it and see where it goes. But I was seeing a community team which support people with mental health issues, but that was just more of a sort of social worker or support worker in a way, where you go there once a week and have a chat and that sort of stuff. So there was no real work being taken. So this was August, September 2019. At the end of that year, in November, I found out I was going to be a dad, and that switched all that off for me. Like, I couldn't be self-centered or selfish or
So would you say that was a real turning point?
Yeah.
massive
For
turning
you.
point.
Okay.
Massive turning point.
How long did it take from you to find out that you were having a son? For you to
Between, but like,
was
from,
it instantaneous? You like, oh shit, I got to wake up now, or was it a few months and then you'd realised, like during the pregnancy?
it was from finding out I was going to be a dad. There was obviously anxiety because a month or two before I was nuts. So, and obviously my family and friends were concerned as well. So, but it was decided to that I'm going to be a dad. So, and it said, the way I'd said it was, he's going to help. The way I seen it was he was going to help me. It was a coping mechanism.
Godsend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
godsend. And so it was obviously nerves. Becoming a dad as well. That's a
Yeah.
big thing. You go from being selfish to selfless.
Selfless, 100%.
So, yeah, my boy come along, and that was a massive godsend.
Shouts
when-
to little man that loves the KFC now, innit?
Yeah. So when you found out you were going to be a dad, did you just like stop everything instantly, like the drugs?
Yeah, so I'd already stopped illegal substances.
Right.
How long
This
was it?
So this was the last time I smoked was that night when I was taken. I went to hospital and started cutting my cheeks. That was the last time I smoked, and that was so that was in the August time, 2019. So, and I was on an antipsychotic called olanzapine,
I don't know about that. My brother's taken all of them.
and it's
Shit.
that for me, it just numbed how I was feeling. Like, it just sort of,
Yeah.
in a way where
Made you dozy. Like
Yeah,
it's like one of them
it
sort
calmed
of.
my emotions down, but to the point where it's just flat,
So there's no emotion
no
at all.
emotion.
I think that's what
Okay.
antidepressants do now. They suppress
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
sort of.
Unless
reality.
it was something that triggered me to be either really happy, which would come across excited, quite, or, angry, which would present quite,
Sad.
No, like extreme, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So
okay.
it's very high
Manic, yeah.
emotions. But then I started gaining a lot of weight too. So with my back still not good, the rods are still broken. So I wasn't exercising, wasn't really walking, not doing anything in general.
You're on the sick, obviously. You weren't
Yeah.
working. Yeah.
Yeah. So started taking medication. I went from size 28 waist up to 42 waist.
Oh shit!
So I went
You're eating good.
I went from 70 kilos piss wet through to 120.
Fuck
Wow.
yeah, no.
Big old boy.
Big jump, that, innit?
Yeah,
Big
man.
jump.
Yeah.
That's professional. That
Yeah.
is. That's fucking.
Teach me. I'm slim. I want to put weight on.
Listen, I can teach you, bro.
Show some off.
So had you become a dad by this point? The little man.
Yeah. So it was August 2020. I become a dad.
So you become a dad in the pandemic then?
Yeah, that was difficult.
I bet that was fun.
It was different to what you'd expect. Becoming a dad would be like. It was very. It was like 20 other appointments, or after he was born, I had to leave him in 20 minutes. So
Oh mate, that
Strange
must have
times,
been.
wasn't it?
yeah, very strange. But there was uncertainty throughout the country,
Yeah.
throughout the world. So
Yeah.
We spoke about this last
Yeah.
episode with.
Yeah.
it was all new to everyone, I think.
That's right. Yeah.
So
Do you know
but
what?
It didn't affect how the process. Like there was nothing I could have done differently
No.
to change it.
So looking back now, to someone who's currently fighting addiction or whatever mental health issues they've got, what would you say the best form of therapy is, in your opinion? Obviously, it's not a fact, is it? It's
Yeah.
But 'cause you've been through it all,
circumstantial to the person, isn't it?
Yeah. Like we said, everyone's different. Everyone has their own fix. And for me, from my personal experience, it's more self-help. Though I've done multiple types of therapy and different types of medications, all that sort of stuff, and tried different things. But for me, it's finding your own self, finding what helps you. Or we touched earlier about breathing techniques.
Yeah.
I developed a coping mechanism of meditation. So
I've always wanted to do that. See now,
I've done
after
it
the
through
cameras
therapy.
off, we got to speak about
Yeah,
this on a reel
yeah.
because I need
I
to
use-
dial in with that.
there's different types of meditations you can use for different things. I use it. You can use them for motivation, which is a technique that the Himalayan monks use. to stay
Manifestation sort of.
No, so it's a technique that you use with, like, you envision a fire, and with your breathing, you burn this fire more than you put your stomach, and then release it through your body. And what that does, for them, it warms up their skin continuously. They're sat up on a mountain with their cloths on in the snow, and they're doing this technique for hours. So, but what that does, it releases endorphins where you feel motivated to go.
That's what I need.
Techniques I use for anxiety.
You spiritual?
Very spiritual. Very. I think so. The hypomania for me was
The wake up call.
a spiritual quickening.
Yeah.
So there's a thing called spiritual
Awakening. isn't it?
awakening, but the quickening wasn't
Very fast,
initiated.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It wasn't something that I took upon myself initially. It presented itself in that way. Do you know what I mean? So I was getting downloads while speaking to people about certain topics. Like, for example, I can remember being assessed by these services where they assess mental health patients, and if the assessment from the assessment, they will either stay with you for life or they won't work with you at all. So I remember speaking to them, and I had my notebook out, and I was going through my notebook, which had a load of scribbles in, and they were speaking about things like philosophy and astrology and numerology, all these sorts of things that I had no idea what was, but I knew then what it was.
Yeah.
And it was quite unusual. That was just one example. It happened multiple times every day.
Do you journal?
Now I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I started a few weeks ago,
Good.
and I find that helps.
Yeah.
Obviously, mine's writing music and that. And
Obviously,
it's
your
just
music,
like,
yeah.
but I didn't even write anymore. It's just straight off.
Comes out.
Straight off the
Straight off the
dome.
no, yeah, dome's good. Do you believe in law of attraction and stuff like that?
Yeah. Manifestation, law of attraction, energy, numerology, astrology. Yeah, I can go deep.
Pause. Right, so after all the recovery, your son had born. Talk about the transition from that to going to the men's club you go to,
Yeah.
and then obviously it went to you leading after that, wasn't it?
So, my son was born in 2020, and he became a coping mechanism for me to get through those times and sort of heal a part of me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for me, he was a massive purpose. Without him, I God knows where I'd be. So he was a purpose from then.
So would you say he was the catalyst in your healing journey then?
Yeah, massively. Everything I do every day, he's the pinpoint in as the reason as to why, if you know what I mean.
It's like an anchor for you.
Yeah, an anchor. So from 2024, I sort of embarked on a healing journey. I knew there was things from the past that needed sorting out, therapy, and understanding that. But from Angus being born, I sort of left it there. So it was never faced. I suffered with mental health close to that time, and I knew there was still unhealed parts of me. So that's when I started doing the self-help, started looking internally and looking for answers, reasons as to why, and had an understanding of everything.
Do you think to actually start healing and that there's a sort of like an aspect of accountability?
Yeah. You've got to take that accountability for whatever you've gone through, whether it's something that you've done or something that's happened to you, whether it's trauma or anything. In a way, you've got to, instead of becoming a victim, you've got to take action.
You've got to accept what sort of happened, really.
100%. And
how did you find the answers? Would you say that's the main action, or do you know what I mean?
how I found the answers was through finding a safe space, within myself, the environment that I'm in externally and internally, how I'm feeling. You got to have some sort of grounding, otherwise it can be hard, and you just got to let yourself feel. As hard as those emotions could be, you've just got to feel it. There's no
Instead
point.
of bottling up.
Yeah, if you swallow it and suppress it, it'll find its way out.
Yeah.
I've always feared that if, obviously, it's not bottled up anymore because I make the music, but I've always feared if I do release it, everyone's fucked, and I don't want to jeopardize friendships, relationships, because I can't deal with shit in a normal way, so I'd lose my head instead. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
not in in a threatening way.
No,
but I mean
it's how you release it though.
Yeah, in my own head, exactly.
Yeah.
What I found though, so from the army, from the crash, from stuff happened to me as a kid, from the services letting you down, I was carrying all that anger and frustration, everything as you can imagine, still, and it weighs you down. And it's hard to carry, and to the point where I come to a realisation where what's the point in carrying that anymore?
You don't know why you're waking up in the morning.
It's a lot of baggage. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of baggage to be carrying, so just let it go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Let it
do you know what it is? I don't want to wake up in the same cycle, the vicious, the
Exactly.
systematic cycle, the mental cycle is, I'm waking up, I'm going to work, and then at the end of the day, what the fuck am I doing it for? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's it's real. People don't want to talk about these things because they think they're going to get looked at as a bitch. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what it is these days. You see it back in the day.
Judge you, don't
Yeah. But the people don't care to understand.
I used to think like that, man up, all that sort of stuff. I used to say it to myself continuously. And for me now, a man is someone who's in tune with their emotions, who's able to feel, who's able to deal with things responsibly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And there's nothing manly about suppressing things.
Do you not think that maybe expressing them emotions to people can lead to it being capitalised on? Do you know what I mean?
You know, being able to express emotions and show emotions is a sign of vulnerability. Do you know what I mean?
And then if you're vulnerable, in my eyes, it's people can use that to their advantage, and then
100%.
you're fucked, really. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So I think that's where the whole narrative of men not speaking comes from.
Yeah.
Because like you see back in the day, my granddad in the war, do you know what I mean? When Anne stayed at home, did what she did, he did the manly shit, and then I think it's just come through generations. But instead of it staying like that, it's turned to more like
The generations before us, though, the war, the times afterwards, they were all in those times together.
Yeah.
So it was more of a society sort of trouble. Do you know what I mean? So they're all in the same boat.
well, it was the Great Depression and shit. Back then, wasn't it?
Exactly.
So it was like
All these times, so everyone was going through the ringer at the same time. Whereas now we all have, there is society expectations. You know, do well in school, do well in college, do you go uni, get a good job, buy a house, get a bird, have kids, all that sort of stuff.
I think it all stems from social media. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I think it's a generational thing, personally. You know, it's the generations before us were the ones who brought us up. So, and we get told or advised what to do. Nowadays, the way that society is, it's, you know, everyone has flashy cars, flashy lifestyle, all that sort of
Instagram
stuff.
live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it's all on tick. So it's not like it's not like they own it. It's not like they've done well. All it is just
Finance.
to fuel their ego.
Ego.
Egotism.
Yeah.
Make
What
them
was it
feel
like-
good in themselves, isn't it?
What was it like when you were growing up? What were your parents' mentalities like? Were they a lot like it is now?
Well, when I was growing up, I had to navigate life by myself almost. As a kid, I had to think like an adult because my dad worked in the oil industry. So
I remember you saying actually, yeah.
he was away for months at a time, and my mum was Thai, so she wasn't from the UK. So I had to help her navigate Western ways. So I've got a very unique upbringing, as it were.
Yeah, I can tell. But I just, yeah, because I know you weren't born here, were you?
No, I was born. I was born in Venezuela, South America.
Crazy.
And
So it
then-
probably is a lot different there then.
Yeah, and then for the first 6 years of my life, I lived in Houston, Texas.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sick.
I can't
Before,
stand the accent.
before yeah,
Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. Yeah, and actually, when I moved over here as a 6-7-year-old, I had a broad Texan accent.
I did.
Believe
I
it
just
or
said to
not.
her, I can't stand the Texas
Yeah,
accent.
yeah.
I don't know why.
You come over here with a pair of boots and
Yeah,
a cowboy hat.
yeah, yeah. No, so yeah.
Been
So,
here,
like,
there, and
like-
everywhere.
Yeah, so like I say, my upbringing was a little bit unique to
Mm.
to most people's.
I think that's why your mentality is
a
so.
place like
Yeah,
Oswestry.
that's why I'm. That's why, yeah, that's why I'm so odd.
Oswestry,
Oswestry, yeah, I like that.
the new one. So where from having your son, the transition to going to the men's club. Talk us the direction and
Yeah,
how you
so-
got to that.
I moved back down to Oswestry from up north, and I was aware that the mental health club had started. But at the time, I was with the healing journey, and
Hesitant.
I was in a hyper independent phase where I didn't have any help. I didn't ask for help. Just sort of
Try to do it all on your own.
conquered the world by myself. Do you know what I mean? It was that sort of mentality of,
This emotional silence.
in a way, it was taking the
Yeah.
accountability of what had
It's
gone
the best
on.
way though, really and truly.
Yeah, what that done for me though, it showed me who I am as a man. Do you know what I mean? And what is possibly capable in those ways. Do you know what I mean? And what I can and can't deal with.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the mental health group had started, and I started speaking, to, especially my family and friends, and starting to feel comfortable to speak, and not necessarily ask for support, but just speaking.
Go back-
Advocate for it.
Yeah.
Going back to your family and friends, what impact was this having on your family and friends?
At the time,
Yeah.
I think they could see a change. They could see, a persistent change happening, and not just the unstableness was coming clear, if you know what I mean.
Right.
It was becoming stable. So I was diagnosed with complex PTSD and emotionally unstable personality disorder, also known as BPD, borderline personality
Yes.
disorder.
Okay. So just go through what's complex PTSD then.
Complex PTSD is PTSD symptoms, but the complex bit is how you internalize it. So how you view yourself and how they triggers in a way can affect you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's pretty much what I've got.
And it goes hand in hand with BPD and
Yeah.
UPD. So they counteract each other.
Right.
It's the
So-
same as ADHD and bipolar, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But when I had the diagnosis, this was 2023. For years, I always felt weird. I always felt odd. Yeah. And it was more going in there to have a diagnosis, to get that label,
Daunting.
so I could understand myself. But the psychiatrist, when he diagnosed, he said, just because you got this doesn't
Define you as a
define you.
person.
Definitely. The way he explained it was, we're all different on our ways. He said, you're taller than me, my skin's darker than yours, I'm better at basketball than you, and at the time it's like, you fucking sure?
So
From the Prime Minister.
how did you feel once you got diagnosed? Did you feel better that this thing had a name
Yeah.
for you to
Yeah.
research and
Well,
give you a bit more understanding of what was going on with
I would have
yourself?
thought you'd have had to reevaluate everything that you'd been through and the way you tried to heal yourself to then realise, oh shit, this is what was actually affecting me.
Yeah.
So now I've got to redirect whatever
Well,
route I want to take.
It was also always known as hypomania, from the outbreak of it, and I got diagnosed privately, and it was, he mentioned about DBT, dialectical behavioural therapy, which is a more in-depth version of CBT,
Right.
cognitive behavioural therapy.
Load of bullshit. Sorry.
And it's meant to be very beneficial with BPD.
Right.
BPD can be curable. Like the stats say, within 10 years, 90% of patients are cured
No
from
way.
therapy.
Really?
And
That's actually
another-
crazy, isn't it?
Another 15 years, it's 97%. No, 99%. So it's curable,
That's
Wow.
crazy.
and it's not. There isn't a medication for it, so it's not something they could go. There's BPD tablets, like
Yeah.
antipsychotics or antidepressants or anxiety.
So where are you at with it now, your BPD?
It's. I'm
Is
not.
it
It's not.
manageable?
I'd say it's cured.
It's cured.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Good
still,
shit, man.
I still
Good shit.
That's amazing.
Love that.
I still struggle. Not struggle, but get
You get them
anxiety.
days. Of course.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The unstableness, that's
Don't-
normal.
But I think everyone does though. don't they?
Exactly. That's just
We
human
all have
nature.
bad days, don't we?
Yeah.
It's human nature.
Yeah.
And I'm able to cope. That's a different thing. It's not like a struggle anymore.
Yeah.
So
You can recognise it when it's
Yeah,
when it's
it's
So
happening.
that's what your bad days look like now, is you see it in more of like a... What did
You know
Dexy
how
say?
to cope with it if you're having a bad day.
You heard him say
Yeah.
it's something about you can do 10 good things,
yeah.
and then that one bad thing that you've done, you'll notice that more than the
Yeah,
10
The
good things.
things,
But
yeah.
obviously it's reversed now. It's more you
Yeah.
notice the 10 good things you've done, and the bad thing don't
Yeah.
mean
Yeah,
shit.
it's more of that mentality switch. That
Yeah.
the mindset.
Mm.
Instead of being in a negative mindset and doing 10 good things and then noticing the one shit thing, it's more 10 good things and one bad thing. But that's just the roller
One way
coaster of life.
outweighs the other sort of thing.
Exactly. It's like on that tightrope. You're just keeping it steady.
In that evaluation, was it more like, now you look at it, you appreciate life for what it is because you know you've been through the shit you've been through, you've got through it, you've got
Yeah.
your son.
Yep.
Now you've been through your worst, what more can you go through? If you're this
Yeah.
strong already, whatever happens. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And that's not something. In a way, this may sound sinister.
You're blessed
but
to have that sort of...
Yeah, I'm grateful for those things that I've been through, because it shaped me for who I am today.
Bullshit. Yeah,
And
of course.
how important do you think gratitude is when it comes to anxiety?
Gratitude is massive. That's one thing that I've been practicing recently with anxiety.
We spoke about this before because I practice it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, when you get nerves or anxiety, when you start realising it, instead of like, why am I anxious, just think, what am I grateful for?
That's what I do. I do that a lot now.
In that instant of, I don't know, I'm grateful for being here, then that anxiety will just wash away.
Yeah.
Because they say that anxiety and gratitude can't hold the same space within you.
Yeah.
That's why if
It's
you,
in the Bible.
yeah. Was it?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
You're not religious, are you? We did speak about that when you said you believe in a creator as such, but not boiled down to.
I wouldn't class myself as any certain type of religion. I wouldn't label myself as a Christian. I like spirituality.
I was gonna say because obviously I've noticed the.
Yeah, that was Jesus' Highway to Heaven is because it's AC/DC Highway to Hell.
Yeah, sick.
But Angus is the lead guitarist of AC/DC.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Okay.
And your son, yeah, that's sick.
So did you named him after?
AC/DC guitarist.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. So I wouldn't label myself as a certain religion.
Yeah.
Like quite. If I was to describe myself as a certain religion, it'd probably be Christianity, Gnostic, I believe it is. So it's more.
It's not biblical. It's more.
Instead of being external to internal, you go internal to external.
Yeah.
So you find God, whatever source,
Within.
universe within yourself.
Yeah, that's what happened to me, sort of. But people say, I don't like this shit, but you know, like the religious psychosis bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. I believe that it happens for a reason. Do you know what I mean? The same as like the spiritual awakening.
Yep.
People have to fucking be negative about it, saying, "Oh, you're tapped because you've been through so much. The last hope you've got is religion." Do you know what I mean? And that's what it was with me. But people just think, "Oh, you're just fucking weird."
I use religion, especially Christianity, God, good and evil, to overcome some sort of trauma in my life.
See, this is
you
what
know,
I can finally relate on shit like
you know,
this.
seeing a negativity, or to me it was evil in a way, and able to understand the good, the bad. Do you know what I mean? How there has to be a balance. This is where like the yin and yang symbol comes
Yeah.
into play, and you know, it's you're able to be at peace. Do you know what I mean? So that's just a little side topic. But yeah,
No, but it all boils down to the same.
The same.
it
Like,
was all part of this. Yeah,
part of the
healing
plan.
Healing journey.
And that's where you see, like, how I said before, someone was looking down on you when you was in the car crash. That's what, in my head, would spark the religious journey or the spiritual journey, that sort of. And then, obviously, your son being born. See, I look into signs and shit. I don't know if it's delusion. I wouldn't like to say it is. But
No.
when you say stuff like that, I think, yeah, mate, that's
Well,
God,
it
do you know what I mean?
happened Thursday for me. I was driving back from having Angus.
Thursday just gone.
Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah, okay.
And I was listening to Kanye West Runaway, and just after the piano intro, when it starts saying, is it Who Got You? Do you know the song? Are you familiar with the song?
Run away.
With the long intro of the piano. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it starts saying, Who's got you? Who's got
Yeah,
you?
it is.
Yeah. Number plate, a van goes past with the number plate GGU. God's
Angus.
got you.
Oh, God's got. Shit, that's crazy.
Oh wow.
At the same time,
Yeah,
I'm
it's crazy.
Yeah.
this is going through my head like who's got you, and GGU just goes past.
That's crazy. Shit like that.
I find things like that just like it does make you think.
Off
doesn't it?
camera, I'll explain some stuff to you that I think I already said to you. I'm not gonna say it during because but
So-
some of the signs I've had's crazy, bro.
How did you get involved with the Oswestry Men's Mental Health
So
Club then?
I started going there just as myself. I was coming out of the hyper independence and a sort of isolation phase. I called it monk mode. I don't know if you're familiar with this terminology, where I wipe myself off social media. You know, if anyone needs to contact me, they call me or text me.
Yeah.
I didn't have any distractions, so this is where
You start finding yourself. And you
yeah,
start
deep,
looking in
really
inwards.
deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that.
Started coming out of that phase,
Mhm.
and that's start speaking to people, family, friends. Start going to the mental health club, and just speaking about it to a group of men who don't know you from Adam, and had been through the ringer themselves,
Yeah.
even though we've all experienced different things. It was a really good experience. It was more of like a weight lifted. You're able to.
Did you
Fair.
find it easier to talk to like a room full of
Yeah.
strangers
Yeah,
than it would be to talk to somebody close to you?
Yeah, definitely, because they haven't got that judgment. They don't know you, so your family and friends have known you for however long.
Yeah.
So,
Let's go to the toilet.
all right.
This is the
They're breathing techniques,
fuck.
yeah.
Where were we?
Oh, where were we?
Okay.
We were speaking about
Men's mental health club.
men's mental health club.
Yeah. Yeah. You've just fucking got there and opened up with
Yeah, yeah. So speaking about like your mental health and stuff like that to your family and friends, there's some type of judgment, because they know you or known of you.
Yeah.
So, when you're speaking about certain things, whatever, they've seen all your different versions,
Yeah.
especially my family and friends, where I've gone through all different types of personalities,
Yeah.
all different versions of myself, and going to the men's mental health club, they don't know.
Out of the norm.
Yeah, they don't know anything of me.
Yeah.
So, and I just present myself as I am today. Do you know what I mean? At those times. So,
Would you say? Sorry,
Go on,
I've
carry
just got
on.
this is going to go.
Yeah, go
otherwise.
on, and then I'll ask.
Would you say you're a different person now to what you were, or would you say you're the same person who made the right changes?
That's deep.
I like that.
That's
I
a,
was
I was
that's
just
a
thinking about it
heavy
in my head
question.
for ages.
That's a heavy question.
Saved you.
There's still parts of me that are still like my older self, my
Yeah.
younger self. I think like the character, there's a certain type
The
of
childish sort of, the humour and the,
yeah,
yeah, of course.
I,
I
think
don't think that ever leaves a man.
no,
No.
that my mates have said that it's like I've gone for a couple of beers with them. It's like it's like having the old Brad back in a way, and but then I go speak on like deeper stuff.
And that's where the mature side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
this
where the
version.
growth comes
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like that. I'd say both.
From
Yeah.
first impressions when I met you, when was it? Last week? Week before?
Yeah.
A week before
2
6
weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
You seemed like a very. I didn't think you were pretty much same age as me. I thought
Okay.
you were way older than me. Hella strong mentality for his age. 27, bro, and he's fucking talking like this. And I'm on about some dumb weird shit, and I'm the same age. I just say some real fucked up things off camera, like, and I don't think it's ever gonna change. But you see, when you started going to men's club, you noticed yourself you were changing. Do you not think now, looking back at it, because I know like with psychosis and other sort of personality changing disorders,
Yeah.
you tend to lie a lot. So do you not think that your family thought when you were going to men's club and shit that you were just still batshit crazy, as they'd say? I'll use that loosely because
No, I think I can remember.
they believed you.
Yeah, I can remember
Yeah.
speaking the first time, and I can remember them, a couple of them actually speaking to me like the past couple of times afterwards, and they said like we could have sat there all night and listened to you, listen to your story, whatever, and all that sort of stuff. And I think for my family and friends, whether if they were they're always going to be concerned because how I've been in the past, and there's always going to be that element there. So I know my boy's keeping me on that tightrope where I can't ever go off
Slip.
again.
Yeah, 100%.
Even myself, I can't let myself slip. I know that I probably won't. I'm saying this.
There's no probably about it, brother.
Yeah,
It won't happen.
exactly.
If you thought it was, you know how to cope with it as well.
Yeah,
Now, don't you?
yeah,
After
definitely.
everything
It's life does throw some obstacles at you, and
Don't
different
go around it,
experiences.
go over it.
Exactly. And it only becomes a problem when there is no way to go around or no way to go over or
Sometimes
no
you just
solution.
gotta go face it head on.
Yeah, our friend Jack that was there before,
Yeah.
he used to say to me, because I used to battle with thoughts about quitting the music and whatever else, he said there's a bump in the road, I can drive straight over it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's very true. I haven't forgot about him.
So
So shouts to you, Jack.
So how did it feel then when you went to the Men's Mental Health Club, talking to them and opening up to them about what you went through?
For me, it was at that time I sort of felt I had no direction. It was very. I knew where I stood. I knew where I've come from, but I knew where I wasn't going. So, and that was like the initial stepping stone to seeing
The change.
a different side to
Mental
society.
health,
Yeah, mental health in general, my mental health.
Yeah.
And it was quite an impactful initiation in a way. Do you know what I mean? And I started going there, even though at the time when I started going, I was in a bit of a hard time that I couldn't get out of. I just sort of had to grit my teeth and get on with it.
Yeah.
But I was going there for support and supporting others, so
Yeah.
it become more of a communal side of stuff instead of
Based on just
going
like
there.
therapy, sort of.
Yeah.
It's more like
Yeah.
Instead of going there and like ranting on or you're emptying your bucket out or
Yeah.
you have a laugh and take your mind off it.
exactly,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
more.
Heal the soul.
What impact did hearing other guys' stories have on you in that club?
The impact that had was knowing that we all go through things, and some of us carry it
Differently.
differently. We all go through things and we all experience things differently.
Yeah.
You know, what I liked about the Men's Mental Health Club was, when people were speaking, so they'd go around like in a circle like that, and we'd individually speak. What that done for me, it gave like a little window slot, like an insight to how they are or how their week's been. Do you know what I mean? So, and I was able to realise that I'm not just on this on my own. Do you know?
Yeah.
There's others out there, and it's just finding those others. Do you know what I mean? Who are there to support you, and you're there to support them.
Did it not make you feel selfish? Because you see, like, sometimes when I'm talking with like, new people about this sort of stuff, and they've gone through worse. Like when I spoke to you for the first time at the podcast about what you'd been through when you were younger, and then the illnesses and shit, made me feel so selfish about like how I've reacted to what I've been through and that. Because in reality, it's not half as bad as what other people have been through.
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone experiences things differently. And I think there's a theory that I'm liking at the moment, and it's called the first timer theory.
I remember this you telling me the other week. Yeah.
That we all go through things different to everyone. You've experienced your life completely different to all of us, same us all, and especially the harder times, the negative times, the ones that shape you more than the other times. Do you know what I mean? These things happen for the people around you. So, with health conditions like yours, people are able to come to you for possibly support or advice.
Yeah.
And the impact that it's had on you, you're able to support them.
And that's
you.
ultimately what you want to do, and obviously I know you want to do that. You want to be able to show people that, look, if this shit happens, whatever happens, you're going to get through it.
Different perspective of going through adversity, isn't it?
Yeah.
And one of the things I've always said is it's not what happens to you that defines you, it's how you deal with it.
React to it, yeah.
But what does define you? People think, a lot of people nowadays think it's they're following online or
materialism. None of it goes to the grave of you. Do you know what I mean? It's not
how
about
much you
that.
got in the bank account or what car you drive or how many.
It's not about that. I strip everything from you the exact same as me, mate. You bleed the same colour. Do you know what I mean?
That's it.
And maybe that's what you both just said then. That's what men need more of in the world. Do you know what I mean? And it's just... It's sad because it's probably not going to be like that way anytime soon.
No, but those little steps. I think self-help, self-worth, further development yourself. Life is like a game at the end of the day, and you're able, however you play it, and you're never gonna have 100% complete it.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
So, and there's always room for
Improvement.
progression. Do you know what I mean?
Do you go to the men's club with?
Yes, yeah, that's where I met Bradley. Was
Yeah.
the men's mental health club. I went there just to try and give my perspective on life, if you like, and
I spoke to them as such.
yeah, and
Yeah.
try and just to try and
Yeah.
help
Yeah.
in a way, of shape, fashion, or form. I mean, you must find with yourself that it's part of my healing journey is to use my experience
Yeah.
to help
Support
the
others.
guys
Yeah.
who are going through it.
Yeah.
And I guess you feel the same way, do you?
Yeah, definitely. I think quite a few of us at the club don't necessarily go there to struggle. We have our little rants and little updates, but we go there more to support others, give back. Instead of
Because there's such an array of different guys there at different
Yeah.
points in
Yeah.
their journey, isn't it?
yeah,
It's
they're
letting
alive.
people know that they're not alone as well, I guess, isn't it?
100%,
Yeah.
100%.
So it is another thing I think men deal with, or people of like our age, or even when they were younger. At what point does this healing journey and whatever else stop, and when do you finally become successful and achieve the stuff that you want to achieve? Because I feel like a main issue in men's mental health is time. Like, I believe that because of the stuff I want to achieve, I ain't got much time to do that.
Time isn't necessarily, it's linear though, time, isn't it?
No, of course.
It depends how you measure your success. I like this analogy of the compass was invented before the clock was.
Yes. So
Do you
you
know what I
can, so you know which direction you're going
Yeah.
in, but it don't matter about the
It doesn't
time.
matter about how
See,
long
I
it
was seeing
takes.
this the other week. It's heavy. Yeah, that's what I've been like going off recently.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it
it's so sick.
doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as,
You go in the right direction.
in a sense, you're better than as you were yesterday.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
each
mean?
day as it comes.
Each day as it comes. Each day is going to be different, and it's how you deal with things.
Do you believe routine helps as well? So, like,
Yeah.
say I think when I get up in the morning, if I don't make my bed,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a bad day.
Yeah,
So I
people
know
say that.
First thing I do,
People-
make my bed.
Start the day on a win. Make your bed.
I like to do things the same as well. Like, I don't all the time, but I used to, when I was
Yeah.
younger, I used to do it. I used to say, right, I'm gonna get up at this time, make my bed at this time, have a shower at exactly this
Yeah.
same time every day.
I can't build routine.
Structure.
I can't do it.
Routine.
I don't stay in routine all the time.
The only thing that's
Yeah.
the routine for me is going to work. Everything else, fucking wing it. Do you know what I mean? I have to because
That's your ADHD, that is.
it must be. It must be because I can't stand routine. It's a load
Yeah.
of bullshit. Like all my mates go to the gym, they'll eat at a certain time. They'll do, fuck that, mate. I'm coming home from work at 10 o'clock at night and I'm eating shit. I don't care. I'm fat and happy, mate. It is what it is.
So you started going to the men's mental health club, and
Yeah.
now you run it, don't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, so it was, I took it on start of this year, just as sort of a leader in a way. It's not, you don't really do anything as such. You just sort of do the chat, and you speak, and it just goes round. It's
Yeah.
the social media side of stuff, but now from that and further progressing into that, I was able to reach out to Gaz from Oswestry Walking and Talking, which is another men's mental health club who operate in Oswestry, and it's regarding men's mental health. So what my ambitions are at the moment is sort of building the bridge between the
Them both.
communities,
The different support groups out
yeah,
there.
Listen,
services and out there that
if there is anything that we can do, we're trying to build a brand around this sort of stuff.
yeah
We want it
Yeah.
to be funny. We want people to be able to watch this shit, have a laugh.
yeah
Do you know what I mean? Feel like
Well,
the world ain't so
And
bad.
hopefully
So
things that we talk about as well, would, someone might watch it and be
Relatable.
like, oh, that's like the techniques you've talked about. Someone might have never heard of that, and they'll be like, "Oh, I might try that."
Some of the stuff you said they haven't heard of, but honestly, if there is anything that we can do
Yeah,
to help,
You were already doing your bit by just
but this to us, this isn't enough. It's
giving
true,
away-
innit? This,
We
you're
wanna
still
do as much
giving
as we can,
awareness
yeah.
to these groups, aren't you? For
Yeah.
us, to be fair.
if we can, we would love to come and bring the camera maybe and just whatever spoke about
think
privately.
maybe-
We wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, for us, if you ever go for a walk or something
Yeah.
as that group
Yeah.
instead of the walking and talking, 'cause
Definitely.
we're
I
gonna
think
do
it'd be
that
good to
anyway.
catch up, with the things that are progressing at the moment.
Yeah.
It'd
Well,
be
we'll
good.
we'll do a part 2
Yeah.
anyway, podcasting,
Right.
But-
Well, you can come down and have a day with me, Brad, and Gaz.
just do a
Yeah,
full day,
right,
just to
yeah,
go out
and
and
then
do a
we'll
vlog.
go for
Yeah.
a walk and do a vlog or something.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That'd be a really good
Even
idea.
if we go out of town, we should
I'll
go.
bring my
some-
wheelchair.
Yeah.
You can push me.
Only place I'm pushing you, mate, is down the fucking hill. You're gone.
What,
Get
down
down.
Oswestry High Street?
Yeah, mate. I don't know. If,
Bailey Head. Look out.
So,
I'm gonna push him down Castlefields and put the brakes on, mate. You're staying there.
yeah. So you're the leader of the Oswestry Men's Mental Health Club now. What impact have you seen it have on your members that go?
Massively impactful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick.
I've seen people change from when they first started coming to a completely different version of who they are now.
Right.
There's people that have come in broken and who
So-
are now just succeeding in life,
Yeah.
and they still come to be a part of it, which is massive. Do you know what I mean? And he's so grateful of the support that he's had from us all, and he just wants to give back now. And there's
So it's a proven method that it's having a positive
Yeah.
impact on the
Yeah.
community.
Would you-
the
Would
day-
you say that happening to him and you seeing that has helped your healing journey? Has that made you think maybe when you felt lost at one point, and
Yeah.
lonely, and now
Multiple
it's
times.
gone from that to the fact that you're the leader as such and you're changing other people's lives? That must make you feel like
It's become my
fucking
purpose.
Andrew
Yeah,
Tate,
you
mate.
gotta-
Do you know what I mean? Like,
It's become my purpose. Do you know? I think before the group, the club, and going there, I didn't know what direction. It was like the compass was spinning. I didn't know where I was going. So
so maybe, well, the answer to you not being able to go in the army and going through everything.
yeah,
Your purpose, really and truly, as harsh as it sounds, wasn't to
Wasn't
fight
that. No,
fight for your country.
as
Well, it
much as
was, but you're fighting in a different way. You're exactly.
I've been in the trenches, but just a different trench. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
You've gone and turned so many negatives into look
Beat the odds.
look at the positive
Yeah.
things I've do now, sort of thing.
Yeah,
You've
that's
made
what
a lot of good
that's what I
changes.
want to be doing. I think that's what people can do. With energy, with negativity, they can be transferred into positivity.
Yeah.
Positivity with energy transfer. So, and I think now I'm understanding which direction I'm going, and we'll go from there.
What is it you think then that men actually need more of in the world to navigate where they're going and to find their purpose? Because even now, I know I want to make music and do whatever in the podcast, but at the same time, I don't know if that's the direction I should really be going in. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if that's the end goal and purpose.
I think so. We have a lot of influence, whether it's from people around us, our environments, social media. It has a massive influence, whether positive or negatively. And you're only going to find those answers by trial and error, by sort of going internally, because a lot of the time, like we said earlier about all these people online who just crave more attention online about Instagram, all that sort of stuff, and that's fueling their ego.
Yeah.
A lot of people pursue careers and things in life that just fuel their ego. Whether it's the position in work or the business is being so successful, all that sort of stuff. So, which our ego is a part of us, and it can be, it is us in a sense, but if you strip that off, who's that behind? Do you know what I mean?
So did you feel like after going through what you went through that your ego was stripped from those experiences,
Yeah.
and you were able to start rebuilding
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
The more humble
Yeah.
man that you are.
Those lost times that we just spoke about earlier. You know, and at those times I think, well, where do I want to be going? I think back to certain times in my life, you know, before the crash, the army, and similar times to them. You know, how could I do something that's similar to the army, or you know, that life before, or different things in between, all that sort of stuff. And I think, well, that doesn't fit who I am now. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't fit the script, it doesn't fit the mould. And I think through trial and error, through those times, you sort of find the direction that you're going in, one way or another. The path will become clear. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's a part of growth as well. Just growing as a person.
Yeah.
Finding your direction.
Yeah.
As much like admiration I've got for soldiers and people who fight for our country, do you really think if you'd have gone in the army, you'd have gone to wherever you'd have gone to fight, and you came out, you know, seeing like soldiers on the streets and shit?
Yeah.
Do you really think you'd have gone through the same sort of healing journey as what you have now? Because from what I know, soldiers don't, or ex-military don't get that treatment.
No.
Even though you didn't anyway, really, as such, from what you've told us.
I don't know where that path would have ended up, but if I had the choice now of if the opportunity was to rejoin, I wouldn't. And I think at that age, when I joined, I was doing it for more of myself.
Ego.
Yeah.
In a way, ego. Yeah. It was to prove I was wrong and prove to myself it's something that I thought I was destined
Capable
to be.
of doing.
But it was more. Now I wouldn't join because, what's the reason of going? It's not. When people were in the war and signing up or drafted, they had a reason to. It was for their country. Now it's.
Do you really think this country's worth fighting for now?
It's a fuck.
Without being political, because I don't.
I was going to say, we'll get political.
I don't want to get politically.
Politics.
But that's only a quick question, because me personally, without getting political, I don't believe this country is worth fighting for.
Not at all.
Not with the stuff that I see, and I'm sure people watching have seen enough on social media and the news. It's.
So, do you have any plans to expand to help men even more? Any projects on the go, maybe?
Yeah, I think. So at the moment, it's in the pipeline to start my own podcast.
We can help if needs be, for sure.
Yeah, it's more. We'd like to do mental health, self-help, sort of that self-development, bettering yourself.
Yeah.
Instead of sort of, in a way, what your podcast isn't tied to anything.
Ultimately, I think we want to change how men of our age, or in general, see life. Yeah. We're humorous, especially us two. Yeah. Josh is more level-headed. He's like the adult. We're just fucking idiots, and we want people. I think we want people to see that whatever the situation is, laugh about it, mate. Because it really probably isn't. It isn't that deep. It really isn't. It can't be, obviously, but you've got to see it as it's not that deep, mate. Just have a laugh. Do you know what I mean? But
try your best to.
That's the new project. That's the new sort of phase of where I want to be going. With helping men's mental health, that's the sort of ambition that I want to be going.
Yeah.
You should call it Beat the Odds. Beat the Odds podcast. Or follow the leader, because you're the leader of that.
I like that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like
you see, it's a sick idea. I think you should call it that.
Or defying all odds.
Yeah. I like
Beat the odds or define it. Yeah.
It's good.
Would something play on that GGU you said about before?
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Play on something like that. Be the sign.
That was such a surreal moment. Like it was. I think signs come at you like at the most.
How do you define it being a sign though, and you being delusional? Because this is something that I question all the time.
Well, you understand what coincidence is?
No, of course, yeah. But is there such thing as a coincidence?
I believe in synchronicities.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and that's when, it's whether you believe we're in a simulation or it's something talking to you, whatever it is, whether it's universe, God, all of it. It could be anyone. It's what you believe in. So whether it's delusional or what, whether you believe in law of attraction, law of manifestation, all that sort of stuff, and energy transfers, it's your own belief. Same with religion. You don't, and it's your own opinion to you. Do you know what I mean? So whether someone thinks you're delusional or you believe in the wrong God or whatever, that's on you. Do you know what I mean? Don't let others.
Perspective, isn't it?
Yeah.
Warp your perspective.
I just don't want to stop. Keep telling myself you're delusional for seeing that sign, mate. Because
There's doubt there, isn't
yeah,
there?
but
There is doubt.
I don't know if that's just a man thing. I don't know if we all just doubt ourselves so much because
It's a confirmation.
the stigma of being a man isn't what we see. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see pretty boys on Instagram, they're on fucking sunbeds and they have
Turkey teeth.
yeah, and their fucking ankles are showing from their jeans, mate, and they're wearing Alexander McQueen's and that.
Alexander
Yeah,
McQueen's.
I'm ranting, mate. I'm ranting, mate. But I just don't want it to
But that's just
be like that.
the typical generic lad nowadays.
Love Island, mate. That's all it is.
I'll be on it next year.
Oh, if you win, mate, you can upgrade
Vote
some
for
of the
me.
stuff for us.
Vote for me.
We should do a live podcast, all of us. So
Oh
that would
my
be
God.
sick. When you've got your equipment, and we've got enough for 4. Unless we all just do rock paper scissors, mate. Whoever fucking loses, you're not coming on. Mate.
Light outside.
Live podcast on
Do a live pod. I don't know about that. Your old ways are coming, mate. I'm not sitting next to you while you're fucking on a Zinga Pinga jaw singing.
So to jump on that though.
That would be sick though, a live podcast. But the only thing is, if we say some outrageous shit, it's not being cut.
Yeah.
But no, I mean like
a
a live one, as in front of like an audience. And
Oh,
shit,
right.
mate.
What,
And then we
yeah,
do
on
like a
stage or
do like a
something,
charity, yeah, do like a charity one,
Yeah.
and whatever we raise goes to Mind or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
whatever else.
Yeah,
I think we should plan that once you've
I
got.
think I'd like to do some sort of charity work.
We want to do it, don't we? We just haven't decided what we want to do.
I don't know. I haven't looked at any charities.
We said
especially-
about doing a what's the name, didn't we? But that was more for the other thing that we're doing, isn't it?
I don't know
the
what you.
the
Oh
talent
yeah,
show thing
yeah,
we spoke about with
yeah.
Cal, didn't we, on our first episode?
I don't know what to do, but we can definitely brainstorm something together because
Yeah.
we're all in a group
We're
chat
all in a
now. We
group
may as
chat
well
anyway,
keep
aren't
that
we?
for
Yeah,
future
Definitely.
videos and that.
Yeah.
keep the idea in mind.
If you could change one thing about society or how us men view society, what would that be and why?
If I could change one thing about society.
It's hard when you're on the spot, isn't it? I was at that seat. The other week.
That's an evil smile, mate. He's like, yeah, fuck you. On the way home now, he's gonna be sat there on them wheels, grinning like a Cheshire cat, mate. You're thinking, yeah, fuck you, man.
What would I change about society? Your men.
The way men view society.
The way men.
Obviously, that's tied around the mental health,
Yeah.
like.
Egos, because I think a lot of our time our ego makes decisions for us, or doesn't make those decisions out, whether it's I don't know, making those steps or whatever, and it's that doubt in itself, whether you believe you're not capable, whether you're not worthy, all that sort of stuff. It's. I think that's what holds us back is possibly a version of us who doubts. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think ego's a real thing though? Because you see, like, I see people say like, love's an illusion, or anxiety and depression is an illusion. It's not a real thing, even though like, it's a chemical imbalance.
It's a feeling, really.
Is it like is being egotistical really a thing, or is it made up by social media, I guess, and other things that have
I think
caused it?
ego. I think it is a genuine thing. It's. I was watching a podcast the other day, and there's psychiatrist who was on it, and he was speaking about DID. So it's a disorder called dyscognitive identity disorder. So have you watched the film Split?
I was going to
Yeah.
say that's
No,
like,
but I've heard about
Yeah,
it.
it's
Where he changes personalities.
it's weird.
He's looking at me like it's proper dodgy.
Yeah,
No, it's
He is as well now.
He has like multiple.
Multiple,
This is
like
what-
multiple,
like
not just
DID.
two.
Yeah.
There's a few.
This is what it is. So, and this psychiatrist was studying someone with it, and one of his personalities had type 1 diabetes, and when he was in this personality, he'd get tested and he'd have type 1 diabetes. He'd take type 1 diabetic medication, and then one of his other personalities didn't have it, and he was tested in that, and he still had
that's
no
crazy.
What the fuck?
symptoms.
Really?
That's a-
This is real life.
That's
Genuinely.
weird.
That's the power
You're
of
gonna
the
have to
mind
send me
then.
this.
This is how your brain convinces yourself.
Yeah.
So, and this psychologist was studying it, and he said if his brain is convincing himself to do that, when he has a chronic depressed patient, if he's able to hypnotize them to have an alter ego where they no longer feel depression, all this sort of thing. So it's your ego is to do with your mind, I reckon.
Yeah.
It's what holds value. It holds.
It's a bit
Yeah.
like Jim Carrey. I seen him do some interview, and he said that he'd drive up, I think it was Calabasas or something. He'd look over Los Angeles and that, and he'd tell himself that he's the fucking best actor in the world. Wrote himself a check for like $8 million,
I remember
something
this,
like that.
Yeah.
You seen it? Fucking sometime later, I can't remember it, but it turns out that that manifestation turned into the fact that he was fucking one of the greatest actors ever, and that check become real, mate. It's mad.
Yeah.
But that's all. I think that obviously boils down to like law of
Mindset.
attraction and that. Yeah.
It's your mindset.
But it's
a
crazy how
powerful
it's
thing.
What
The most
did we
powerful
speak
thing.
about on the way to Stoke the other week? NLPs,
NLPs,
neuro
linguistic programming.
programming. So it's
Yeah.
changing your programming
Yeah.
in a sense. The way to describe it is your body's like a computer.
I
Yeah.
believe that everybody's
Changing the
programmed.
way you see things,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
do things and
Different parts of your body hold different
meanings.
Yeah.
roles.
Well, yeah.
I believe that everyone's programmed into a certain algorithm,
Yeah.
and that when you
Yeah.
start noticing these patterns of the way people act, fuck, they will do the same thing.
All right, Morpheus.
Yeah.
Fucking,
Going
got nothing
into
to say. Got
Simulation.
Got no
theory,
come
haven't we?
back
got
Yeah.
nothing to say. I got to finish. That's the first time I thought, oh fuck it, I'm not gonna say nothing.
Let him have that one.
Yeah, you can get you back for that, motherfucker.
I got called Neo the other day because of the Barnet.
Mate, how hot is it in here? Let me
Oh,
check.
Boiler.
19 degrees. It's not 19 degrees. Weather's gaslighting me.
No, it's warmer than that, definitely.
If people were to remember you for one bit of wisdom or one message, yeah, after your time is gone, without sounding
Legacy.
morbid, exactly that, what would it be? That's our closing question, unless these two have got anything, obviously.
Change is.
I got him.
It's linear. Like change, I think we all doubt change. We all have a fear of
It
change.
is a good thing.
Because we've become comfortable in these times, even with the negative and all this sort of stuff. And it's when things happen to you that change actually changes you. Do you know what I mean? And it's sort of just keeping it cool right the way through, trying to keep grounded, trying to keep some sort of stability, keep one foot on the ground.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know. You have put me on the spot.
Got any questions?
No, I
Um,
think I'm all done.
Oh, he's got
What
another.
would you say to any guy out there who's going through the thick of it, who's struggling?
Carry on.
Grit your teeth. Get through. One way or another, that you can always get through it. Whether you can see your next step or not, just in those times, if you can't see your way through, just be still. You know, then what that means is not just sit there being still, but you know, don't have to do anything.
No. Yeah.
Feeling lost, going through it, and you can't see a way out, then that way out will show its way to you, and not in that sort of way, but a path will clear. So, yeah.
Big wisdom, secret sauce that is.
I was going to say, where, for the viewers obviously watching at home, where can they find the men's club?
So it's on Facebook. It's called.
You put it here,
Yeah.
in it, lad.
Cheers, Josh.
Yeah, top chubby.
It's called Oswestry Men's Mental Health Club. Yeah.
And where is
Simple
it?
as that.
Where and when?
It is the Citizen Club in Oswestry every Wednesday at 7 o'clock.
Oi, Josh, do the little bing. Do you know the little look?
Tea, get a slice of pizza.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm coming.
Have
Please,
some
yeah.
party rings if I'm there.
Party rings with you.
Even
Yeah.
better. Here's the last question, right?
I'll come for the pizza.
Good lad.
Mate, that's why I'm going. You can fucking stay away, mate. I'm alright, sorry. After whoever's watched this has watched it, what is one thing you hope that they do differently tomorrow? Or you think they should do differently tomorrow if they're going through, like Ollie said, the thick of it? Make your bed when you wake up, you
Make your bed in the
jippo.
morning, yeah. Start with a W.
Start with your
Start
first
with a
word.
W.
Yeah.
Face it head on.
Face it head on. Make those changes. You know, it's face it, like you said. Genuinely, it's. I think behind our biggest fear is a massive change. You know, and we can always. I think you can all resonate with that.
No, of course, 100%.
The thing that we all fear the most is
The unknown of
Yeah.
change.
yeah.
That's exactly it.
So you
know
get
what's
so
on- don't
used
know
to
what's
the
on the
norm,
other
what you
side.
class as the normality
Yeah.
of your life.
Yeah.
Something changes,
Yeah.
a breakup,
Yeah.
something,
If you're
an
in you,
accident.
you've got to do
Yeah.
something to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
if you're too
It's
comfortable,
not a bad thing
it's
to get out
a.
of your comfort zone either.
Definitely.
No, of
Yeah.
course you have to.
Push your limits.
Yeah, we all put boundaries up, whether we realise it or not. You know, what we're capable of, or what we can't do, or what we can do. But
A lot of people tend to quit when it comes to getting out of the comfort zone.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And
Who-
people
who wants to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know,
But that's
Me?
where change happens. isn't
Me,
it?
fucking too, right, mate.
Yeah.
Prefer being
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
you know, most of the time we outgrow our spaces, our environments, so that's where change has to happen.
Yeah.
You can
And that's obviously
Definitely.
where
it's
it's.
like a goldfish, isn't it? If you stick a goldfish in a little tank, it's only going to grow that big. Stick him in a bigger tank, it'll grow that big. Stick him in a pond, it'll grow fucking huge. So
I like
Fuck,
that idea.
mate,
I like the
From how high I am, my height, mate, I must be in a fucking small fish tank, mate.
need to get a new test tube for you, don't we?
Oh, mate, this bastard.
That's fucking not
That's
me.
where I come from, a test tube, man.
Oh no, hit the nail on the head.
Right then, what's your full name so we can leave the or your Facebook?
Yep.
Your fucking full
Bradley
name. What's on
Jones.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't add him. He's a dickhead.
We'll tag for everyone. We'll tag. Get Josh to put all the
Description.
description, all
Malarkey.
the page for you as well,
Brilliant,
so people know where to go.
brilliant.
Hopefully, by the time we've edited this, he'll have a podcast page made himself, or
Hopefully. Maybe.
even just make an Instagram and a TikTok,
Yeah.
mate. Just name it something. Just start making videos daily.
Yeah.
Just talking.
That's not a
People
bad
need
shout.
that.
Yeah.
People are a little spokesman, mate.
You don't even need like a microphone or anything. You can just do it
No.
with your phone anyway, can't
Well,
you?
yeah, if you got wired up iPhone earphones, if you got a little mic, mate,
Yeah.
just put it in front of you and just get your headphones in.
Those are
Send-
ones that we've got about the pizza.
Mm,
They're only
oh,
like
yeah.
10 quid for a pack of.
Fucking, you're mad, ain't you?
That's no, not the ones we've
Mate,
got.
I
But
was
you can
gonna
buy
say.
cheaper ones. I looked when we were
But
looking on Amazon, weren't
you're
we?
on some nice drugs if you're saying they're £10. Fucking give me
No,
some.
no, those ones aren't. No.
Yeah, if you, mate, honestly, make little clips.
Yeah.
1 minute clips. Send me them. I'll edit them for you.
Nice one.
Bounce them back, and then you can post them.
Appreciate it.
And then I'll
Bit of
help
cut
you.
work. Work.
Fucking too right, mate. I'm a fraud. Right then,
Lovely stuff.
come on, boys, give it up for him. Yeah.
Well done, Brad.
And thank you for coming, and it was a pleasure to meet you and hear your story as well, mate.
Thank you.
Well done, mate.
Nice one, Captain.